All right, three, two, one. Hello and welcome to the Hollywood Persona Podcast. My name is Mitch. I'm here with Ant. We have lots of movies to bring you to today. Hey Ant, how are you?
Hey Mitch, I'm good. Yeah, surprisingly, even though there wasn't a lot released this week due to everyone getting out of the way for Taylor,
Yes,
looks like we've got quite a few to talk about. Some good stuff, some
yes.
some horror for Halloween coming up. So yeah, I'm
What do
excited,
you
man.
think? Did you see a bad one this week?
No, no,
Oh, yeah, that's
no,
good.
I really didn't. I mean, no. The worst would be mediocre. It was okay. I'll probably
Yeah,
forgettable, and we'll talk about that one. That's the new release.
yes. I
But
saw a
yeah,
bad one. I
you
saw a
did.
really
Okay.
bad one. So,
I am. Yeah, I'm gonna guess in my head what that is.
all
But
right.
tell us what we're gonna review.
We are going to review Taylor Swift: The Eras Tour. We both saw that. Well, did you see it, or
No,
did
and
you?
I'll not really. I,
Yeah.
I can't
Okay.
log it really, so I'll tell the details.
Okay. We saw Aunt saw She Came to Me, a new movie with Peter Dinklage and Anne Hathaway. Pet Cemetery Bloodlines is one I saw. Evil Dead from 2013. Aunt saw for the first time. One of my favorites. Um, And one of Ant's that he's been talking highly of, Passages from this year, I finally got around to seeing. It is available to rent right now. Totally Killer, I think it's on Prime right now. Gonjiam, Haunted Asylum, I saw. And then Ant saw The Others from 2001 and Stoker from 2013, which is actually interesting because I also just watched The Handmaiden this week from the
Oh,
same
nice.
director.
I need to see that
So
badly.
you
That
you would
sounds
love it. You
okay.
would absolutely. It's great. It's
Yep.
really great.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're gonna some business. Obviously, as I said last week, our Patreon is up and running. I'm working on a bonus episode for that. We're trying to figure out that, but we have our first two patrons, which is really exciting. So
Yeah, and I want to just say thank you, people.
yeah.
I am just amazed that anyone listens to this period besides like our family, our
Yeah.
moms, who want to support us.
My
But
mom didn't even start listening until like a month or so ago.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, so thanks a lot. That's really sweet. And I hope you continue to get value out of this because I love doing it.
Yeah, me too. And you know, like I always said to myself, whatever everything I do it for myself because I enjoy it. You have to like what you do, or else if you rely on other people to like what you do, then you're never going to be happy. You have to be happy doing what you want to do. If that made any sense.
Yeah, and I
Um,
guess I shouldn't be too surprised because I myself subscribe to three different
yeah,
film-related podcasts on Patreon.
yeah.
The next best picture show, We Hate Movies, The Film Vault, and the Film Cast. All four of those
Hmm.
I have for many, many, many years, as long as they've had it. So I guess it's not too surprising. But those guys are like big
Yeah.
deals.
I usually do as well. I usually subscribe to Cinematics, Middle Class Film Class. Um, and Film Vault, but and I've subscribed to a lot before, Force 5. I just haven't been able to lately because of the move and everything, and
Yeah, yep.
trying to save some money to get a house.
Yeah, it's definitely the first thing that's easy to cancel when it's like,
I
when you
know,
need to like tighten the belt. It's like, I guess I can let that one go.
and it's hard because it's really not that much money, right?
Right.
But it all amounts to something. But
Yeah, but I mean,
anyways,
yeah, yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
sorry. No, what I was gonna say is our patrons are two people I know. Crystal, I mean her and I have never met, but she is a film vaulter. She's great. We've had conversations before. She is a movie lover, obviously, and she has recommended movies to me and TV shows. So thank you. She has become a member at the Hollywood exclusive level, and then Matt has become a persona grata. Matt and I have been friends for a long time. Um,
That's a reference to John Wick, right?
well, so persona non grata is
Yeah, that's
like
in.
yeah, and then so the opposite persona non grata means like someone who is not welcome or
Yeah,
not
yeah.
so persona grata is someone who is welcome, or we like, right? So and it just kind of goes with the name of our podcast. So thank you, Crystal and Matt, for becoming for supporting the podcast. It means a lot. And I've reached out to Matt about which movie he wants to assign us first, because he's at the persona grata level, and he wanted to assign us The Skin I Live In, but I've
Oh,
seen it.
okay.
Um,
I haven't.
so either A, I will watch it again, or he can assign us two different movies if he wants Ant to see it.
Yeah,
And what,
I'd love to
but
watch that. I've heard good
yeah,
things. It sounds
it's
interesting.
really really good, and it would be a good horror, like a good. It's not like crazy horror, but it's like body horror more.
Yeah, okay.
Um,
Yeah, maybe I
so
could
for
watch that one and he could give you one.
Yeah, exactly. Matt, just let us know. We thank you. So also for our Patreon listeners, I made a mistake. Crystal, messaged me right away and said, "Hey, it only charged me this much, but it says it's this much." So it only allowed me to put the money as Canadian dollars. So what I've done is I've created tiers for Canadian listeners and U.S. listeners. Like and there's no way I can police it if U.S. Listeners want to go and pay for
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Canadian
whatever.
level. I'm not. It was all an error on my part. And Crystal and Matt, I don't expect you guys to switch over, because I just did it in case people want to do it, and then it's in their own currency. Um, that way, because the way it works out is if I get the money, then it's going to be in Canadian dollars, and when I send it to Ant, I'm going to be sending him more because it's, you know what I mean. And so it all kind of something I did, but if people don't follow it, it's fine.
Yeah, whatever.
um Anyways, so thank you to the Patreon listeners. The Face of Horror competition, I know I keep bringing it up, but I made it into the quarter finals. I'm a quarter finalist now. And that is the voting for that is up for the next like not 8 or 9 days. We are almost through. We are almost done. Um,
So, Mitch, the quarterfinals, and then how many more stages are there? Because I for some reason was under the assumption last week that that was the finals or the home stretch. So, explain how much
yeah,
is left.
to me, I guess last week I kind of thought it was the home stretch because I didn't think I would make it any further, and I was kind of like, "Well, this is it for me." And then the Film Vault family came out, and they came out in droves and pushed me to the top, and I'm so thankful. Um, like literally like almost dancing in the kitchen, like looking at being in first and then making it. It was one of those joyous moments you see in a movie. um so
So there's this
yeah,
week,
so there's
then.
there's this stage, and then the next stage is the last one. um
Oh, okay, okay, got it.
I'm fairly certain it was all really confusing. I've tried to read it several times. There was a lot of different stages, and like but yeah, so after these 10 days, we move into the finals, or unless it's this like, or it'll be the semifinals, which will be the last few people and whoever makes it first. So, um, I could be wrong. I will get the details on that for next episode.
Okay,
So and then my other podcast, The Film Falters. If anybody just wanted to, plug that a little bit, it gets more listeners than our show does, but might as well plug it. I had a new episode out last week with Alex Simpson. I have a new episode out this week, and I'm gonna have a new episode out next week. I've already recorded that. So Alex Simpson, Joseph Navarro from the Middle Class Film Class, and next week is Joseph Bridges. So three great episodes back to back. And yeah, so movie news. So I This just was announced yesterday. Martin Scorsese has chosen The Wager as his next film project, and in this endeavor, he will collaborate once more with Leonardo DiCaprio, and it'll be an Apple original film. Is
yes,
Killer Flower Moon? Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yep,
So obviously, yeah. So his new movie, The Killers of the Flower Moon. This movie's storyline is adapted from David Grann's novel titled "The Wager: A Tale of Shipwreck, Mutiny, and Murder." So that sounds pretty cool.
cool.
Michael Caine, the renowned British actor known for his illustrious 8-decade career spanning iconic films like The Italian Job and The Dark Knight, and has officially confirmed his retirement from acting. He's talked about the two-time Oscar winner, who is now 90 years old, shared his news during an appearance on BBC Radio 2024's Best of Today podcast. I keep saying I'm going to retire. Well, I am now. He also revealed that his recent project, The Great Escaper, released earlier this month in the UK, will mark his final acting role. He cited the incredible reviews the film received and the fact that at his age he's likely to be offered only roles as elderly characters, which I mean goes without saying.
Yeah.
He said, "The only parts I'm going to get now are old men, 90-year-old men, or maybe 85, you know." And I thought, well, I might as well leave with all this. I've got wonderful reviews. What am I going to do to beat this? Um, the Great Escaper is about Bernard Jordan, who escapes from his care home to attend the 70th anniversary of the D-Day landings in France. And like I said earlier, it has only been released in the UK and doesn't have a date for release in the
Mm.
US yet. So I don't know if it's
Yeah.
going to be next year or this year.
That sounds interesting enough. And I'll say as far as him saying his only roles now are going to be 90-year-old men. Um, and actually, it's totally fine for him to retire. He's freaking 90. Like,
Yeah,
enjoy the rest of
yeah,
your life. But we just saw Anthony Hopkins win an Oscar for The Father,
yeah,
right? And he's super
yeah,
old, and that movie was incredible. So you never know.
yeah. And,
You never know.
your president is like 104. So,
Dude, all of
I
our
mean,
politicians are just skull and bones. We need some young blood to get in. For
yes.
Christ's sakes, I'm so sick of them.
I love Trump like making fun of Biden for being
Yeah,
old,
it's
and
just
they're
like the
three
same
years
age.
apart. They're like anyways. I do think Biden obviously shows it a little bit more, but
Yes,
we
definitely.
don't need to get into politics. I'm
Yeah, let's
sorry.
not.
Um. Oh, geez, I completely whatever. I'll ignore that. A Haunting in Venice has ended its theater run with 110 million worldwide, making it the lowest grossing of the three Hercule Poirot movies. Um, while The Nun 2 has now made over 250 million worldwide. And if you think about that, like, so Death on the Nile um, made about 20 million more than Haunting in Venice.
That's surprising.
Yeah, and it came out
Right.
during
That's why it's
pandemic
surprising.
time.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
And I
so
would say it's a worse movie than this one too.
yeah, I didn't like Death on the Nile. I when I watched it a second time, and I was like, oof, I can't believe I kind of liked this the first time.
Yeah, Gal Gadot is just not good in that one.
So before
I
I
don't
get into
think.
this news story, have you heard like some of the backlash surrounding Snow White? The
Um
A lot of people like
yeah.
are don't like Rachel
Yeah,
Ziegler.
it's the same chud waterheads that hate when
Yeah,
any new race or something gets cat. I'm just so
yeah,
tired of it. I did see this story and
mhm,
okay, fine, they're free to make whatever they want. But so yes,
yes.
I have heard of it. Go ahead.
So Rachel Ziegler's gotten a lot of heat because she's been very vocal about not liking the Snow White story and how she's excited about the changes they're doing. There's going to be no dwarves in this one. Blah 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 blah. So the conservative media company Daily Wire is venturing into the realm of live action adaptations by creating its version of the Brothers Grimm fairy tale Snow White. It's going to be titled Snow White and the Evil Queen. So, anyways, this film is scheduled for release in 2024. There's already a trailer. It marks the inaugural feature length production for the company's children's entertainment platform called Bent Key. Notably, the movie's cast will include Brett Cooper, who is a woman. I didn't know that.
Okay.
Um, a conservative YouTuber known for hosting Bent Key's show, The Comments Section.
So my comment to this is I'm gonna take the opposite comment. Snow White's a public domain story. Anyone can
Mm-hmm.
tell it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this will be a good movie. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it will.
And I watched the trailer and it showed her singing. Her voice sounds good. If
Okay.
I hear good things, I'll definitely catch it. I mean,
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know. I honestly, I don't know why they're doing another Cinderella. I think the one that they did with Kate Blanchett
Snow
and
White, right?
oh,
You said
sorry,
Cinderella.
yes, sorry, Snow White. Never
No,
mind.
I
Don't
get them
listen to me.
confused. They're
Yeah,
in my
kind of all the
memory. They're
same. I
kind
know.
of yeah, really.
Hmm.
And Disney's done a bunch of these, like the one with Angelina Jolie, where we focused on the evil
Yeah,
witch, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
you know, it's just
I don't know.
remakes, 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 remakes.
I don't know. I found this story very gross.
This next one?
Yeah, sorry. I keep thinking about how I couldn't stop yawning last episode. Now I'm yawning. Matthew Vaughn, the director of the Kingsman series, who was originally going to direct, he was originally going to direct X Men: The Last Stand because Bryan Singer was, I think, kicked off of it.
Yeah.
Um, but he quit very early on, and we didn't know why. Obviously, creative differences is what they said. And finally, we had the full story, and to me, it's just gross. He says, and I quote, "One of the main reasons I quit X Men 3, and this is a true story, Hollywood is really political and odd. I went to an executive's office and I saw a script for X Men 3. It was a lot fatter. I asked, 'What is this draft?' They were like, 'Oh, don't worry about it.' So I grabbed it and I opened the first page and it said, 'Africa, kids dying from no water, and storm creates a thunderstorm to save all these children.' I thought it was a pretty cool idea. I said, 'What is this?' They said, 'Oh, this is Halle Berry's script because she hasn't signed on yet. This is what she wants it to be, and once she signs on, we'll throw it in the bin.' I thought, if you're going to do that to an Oscar winning actress who plays Storm, I quit. I thought, I'm mincemeat."
Ew, that is gross. So they
It's just,
were making different versions of the script for different actors, and then they were just gonna pull a
it
fast
doesn't
one on
seem
that?
like that they're like, "Oh, we'll put this in Africa to pander to a black actress who, like this will touch her heart and blah blah blah." I'm like, this is just so. I find that disturbing, honestly.
Yeah, that's pretty it's just not
Gauche,
insidious, but it's just yeah, it's just tacky. That's so
tacky,
tacky
so tacky.
to give different actors different scripts and then change it on them in the once they've signed it. That's
Yeah,
that's
I guess.
gross.
I wonder
That's
how
gross.
much script could change before you would say no to it. You know what I mean? Before you
Yeah.
could quit. Like,
Yep.
once you sign that contract, can they completely change the
I
script? I
wondered that
doubt it.
too. And I think that happens a lot because, like look at the Fantastic Four, the most recent one, the Josh Trank
Ugh,
one.
yeah,
There's lots and you always hear these stories of I mean it's even been parodied. Like Family Guy did an episode of this where Brian the dog creates a TV show and
mm,
it's supposed to be like a wholesome family sitcom, and then they bring
right.
in James Woods and he's instead hitting on his like 18-year-old daughter. And
Yes,
Brian, of course, is
right.
like, what the fuck is this? So it seems like stuff like this happens all the time where the studios come in and say, "Well, we need to do this," or "We tested and we think that we need a happy ending instead of a bleak
Yeah,
one."
and I
So
guess if
yeah,
you
good question.
and I guess if you think about it, there's some movies where they don't even have a completed script.
Right. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you've heard
Sorry.
Marvel, they do previs,
Yeah,
or where they start shooting some of the action scenes before they even have a script, which just is nuts.
yeah. So anyway, so Piper Laurie has died at the age of 91. She played Carrie's mother in the original film and in other movies like The Hustler, which I just saw last year, and the television show Twin Peaks is what she was most known for.
Oh.
She was
Hmm.
nominated for 3 Oscars for one for Carrie playing the mother, The Hustler, and Children of a Lesser God. Um, Also, Suzanne Summers has also died at the age of 76, best known as Chrissy Snows on Three's Company. And she was seen often in ads for the Thigh Master, if you remember that old. Uh, my mom made a joke about that when I told
Yeah,
her.
I remember my mom like seeing that infomercial too.
Yes. And Best Buy has confirmed they will no longer sell Blu-rays and DVDs in store or online.
I saw that.
I
That's a
don't
bummer.
I don't necessarily go to Best Buy.
So I don't either. I used to work for Best Buy, once in
Oh,
Atlanta and
right.
once in Chicago. I worked for the
Okay.
Geek Squad and I worked for Best Buy and computers. But I can't bitch because I haven't bought a physical media disc in a
Yeah.
long time from a Best Buy in a
Yeah.
real long time. So, I wasn't
I
helping to
don't
keep them around.
I think it obviously is a precursor to the end of physical media. I think there's been that precursor for a long
Yeah,
time,
right. Everyone's been saying that's coming.
but I also think it's definitely not the end. I think it's just most people are buying them on
Yeah,
Amazon
I mean, because
or
look at like vinyl. Vinyl record sales have
yeah.
outpaced what they were in the 80s. So,
Yeah.
that's physical media. So who
And
knows? I mean,
CDs are coming back apparently and
oh,
cassettes.
really?
Like people are buying cassettes.
Yeah, and who knows? I mean, maybe 4K discs will be the last physical media
Oh,
format. Maybe we won't get any more formats after this. But I still think preservation, physical media is still a good thing because we have the stories like the William Freakin version of oh, what was it earlier this year where they cut out the N word from only the US version, but the
Oh,
Canada version still had it. Yeah,
French
French Connection,
Connection.
right? If you own
Hmm.
that disc, then they can't change it. So
Yeah.
it's important.
Do you want to read the rest? Do you want to?
Yeah, I'll take over from here.
Yeah.
Projections for the upcoming film, The Marvels, at the box office are rather underwhelming, with expectations of a domestic opening in the range of 50 to 75 million. The figure falls considerably short of the impressive 153 million opening for Captain Marvel a few years ago. Um, for that one, we'll see.
Yeah.
Predictions with early sales sometimes they're right, but sometimes they're way off. I mean, Super Mario Brothers, they didn't predict what that
Oh yeah.
movie ended up
Yeah.
doing, right?
Well, that's exactly what I said. I'm glad you didn't read that part because I said personally I feel like if the movie is good, it will do well. I just think Marvel
Yeah.
fans are burnt out and they're
Yeah.
more or less they're like, you know what, like the diehards go and see it the night of, but like the rest of us are kind of like, well, if I hear it's good, I'll go, but I'm not gonna rush and see it. So,
Yeah, yep, agreed. I agree because the last, everything after Endgame has been okay,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
some good ones, some bad ones,
mm-hmm.
Eternals. Um,
I, I stand by Eternals a little bit, but
okay, or yeah, Quantumania,
I stand by
Shang-Chi, I think was
Quantumania.
really good. Doctor
I'm
Strange,
sorry.
some people didn't like. No, I mean,
I didn't like Doctor Strange that much, and I was not as high on
oh, and
No
Thor,
Way
the new Thor.
Home.
What about the new Thor?
Yeah, the
That
Thor is
one
just
I
hot
wasn't too crazy
garbage.
about. Yeah.
Yeah,
So we'll see with that. That one I'm going to be following closely, and I'm probably going to have to work that weekend.
yeah,
So we'll see
yeah.
how I'll have a front line report of how
Sounds like
busy
they
it
need.
is.
Sounds like they need their professional there on busy weekends, eh? Jeez.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So,
Oh
oh,
yeah, you're doing it.
okay. The negotiations between SAG-AFTRA, which is the Screen Actors, and the AMPTP have reached an impasse, resulting in ongoing strike aimed at securing fair compensation for performers. So the strike's still ongoing. I read a little bit about this today too,
Yeah,
and there haven't been much progress. Um, there just
yeah.
hasn't been much progress. That's all we can say.
Apparently, a lot of AI, and I just wanted to bring this up. I don't know. I can't remember what it's called. But there is a movie on Disney Plus right now that apparently came out in March, and people are just noticing that Bob Iger used AI in it to for actors in the background.
Hmm.
And I saw I there's a scene in a basketball, and the movie's called Prom something or I don't know. And there's a scene in the high school gym, and dude, I will find the video and I'll post it. I'll send it to you. You just see these people in the background and they look like 10 times worse than the people did in Polar Express. They
Ooh.
they look like one of those games where you can pick somebody up and like drop them and like they're clapping and like they
Oh,
have no facial expression. It's fucked.
weird.
Fucked. And I'm like, if this is what AI is, then we are nowhere near actors having to worry too much.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway, so
Um,
apparently a lot of what's going on is like they're the studios are still trying to fight the AI point.
right, right, right.
Yeah.
Yep. And SAG has been pushing for protections to prevent actors from being replaced by AI and
Yeah.
has made some proposals to address the concern. Um, but the AMPTP just hasn't really budged, so that's still a standoff right now. Yeah, this it's just going to be interesting to see. They have to come to some kind of concession because you can't have no AI because it's gonna happen.
Yeah. Even
It's
the writers said like, we if we give permission for AI to be used a little bit, then that's a different story and we can have discussions then. Like
yes,
we're
yep,
not saying like, they gave some concessions.
yep,
So
yep.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
know, I know. And there's that movie that they are, I think, still gonna make with James Dean and do him completely AI. Do you remember that story?
Yeah. I was just actually going to say, how do you feel about that? Like, if
I
Tom
don't
Hanks
know.
dies, like, and they find a way to maybe keep, every once in a while we get to, have Tom Hanks like pop up.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And
as long as like his estate or something gets some money and the AI is good, and but then, people are going to use and abuse it. and
Right. I
it's
mean, remember,
I don't know.
I don't know if you saw he had to release a statement saying the advertisement for some um
Yeah,
dental company isn't him. He had to like come
yeah,
out and tell people. So, and I guess laws will eventually catch up to stop stuff
yeah.
like AI with porn and all that. So
But then, like
it's
we touched on, sorry, but then when we touched on earlier, our all of our politicians are so old and they don't understand any of this technology. Like I watched a lot of the Google and Facebook, all that in courts, and
oh
they
yeah, that
were
was
just
embarrassing.
it was embarrassing. Anyways, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, no, the law, law is always really far behind. Law always lags behind
Yeah,
technology, which is a good thing because it's a good thing. It's a good thing that they're behind because if they make a rash
yeah.
decision early, then the law is there, and then now we can't do anything because the law is there, right?
Well, look what's
So,
happening in Canada right now. Now that they're catching up, and
right.
now they're fucking censoring us, and they're going to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
censoring podcasts. Apparently, now you sent me that. It's just
Yeah,
like
that was wild. That's a
I'm
really wild.
I posted something in a Facebook group and I just said, "How do we fight this as Canadians? Like, how do we fight this?" And the person who ran the group took it down and said, "Please don't please post your politics somewhere else." And I'm like,
Okay.
anyways,
All right. So next is A24. I saw this, and I know you saw this too. A24 made a statement, and I think it had to do with, or it feels like it's coming on the heels of Beau is Afraid, not making any money and costing them a shit ton of money.
oh
A24 is going to start making action movies and other quote more commercial movies. And I wasn't too crazy to hear this because
yeah,
A24 is something that I know we feel and our listeners probably feel that like we got to protect this. This is our thing, like
yeah,
because they consistently put out quality movies, right?
yeah,
I mean, there's a saying like there's the people online in the movie subreddits and stuff say, "Oh, you're an A24 bro," you know,
yeah, for
um,
sure,
and yeah, and it's they've just period they've put out great content or great movies, lots
yeah.
of them and lots of them, right? Like they rarely have a misfire, very rarely. So this is concerning and it's like, oh, don't change our A24, but it is a business, so who knows what this
Well,
means? Who knows what this means?
because apparently, and I should have put this in our show notes somewhere, but apparently they were really trying to buy the Halloween series, like the Halloween franchise. They wanted to buy it. Um,
Okay.
but Miramax actually ended up buying the rights. So I don't know if
And
that's
they, that I think they probably would have done a better job with it.
A24.
With the Halloween franchise, yeah, I think the
I
first
think they
one
could have
was
done
good,
something cool.
but
Yeah.
the Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends,
Yeah.
I think they would have done something better than those, in
Yeah.
my opinion. Um, Next is Timothy Chalamet is training with the Austin Butler Elvis crew to play Bob Dylan. Which okay, what do you think about that?
Yeah. I mean, I he might be talking like Bob Dylan for the rest of his life because apparently.
Like Austin Butler?
But we're gonna see Austin Butler in that new one with Tom Hardy, the Bike Riders or something.
Yeah, yeah,
So we'll see if he's still got the old Elvis accent. But yeah, no, I like Bob Dylan.
yeah. And Dylan has an insane life. His story's crazy,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it'll probably be an interesting movie to watch.
I think Wonka is gonna really show if Chalamet can handle something like that, like something where he's the like he didn't have much to do in Dune. Everything else he's been in, he's kind of just been like the brooding teenager, and like he was good in A Beautiful Boy with Steve Carell. Like he was good, but I just like something where he has to be someone else, like a character like Dylan or a young Wonka. It's like, can he do something like that? We're gonna have to see.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right, because I mean, he's been in a lot of small like indie movies, right? Like Bones and All,
Yeah,
Don't Look Up. He was in for a short minute.
yeah,
Little Women, The King. He was in a lot of The King.
I like that one.
Me too. And then I recently saw A Rainy Day in New York because Selena Gomez was in it. But you're right. He kind of plays all the same in all these.
Yeah,
Um, Lady Bird, of course. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I like him though. I like
I
him.
like him too. I'm a little cautious. I think the trailers for Wonka, I think he's maybe the best part of it. So I don't know. We'll
Yeah, I'm
see.
definitely not excited for Wonka.
No,
I'll just
me
say that.
neither. But my youngest really wants to see it. So
Yep. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll definitely be seeing it, but I'm not like
Yeah,
super
me
looking
neither.
forward to it. All right, and then last news story: a teacher in Florida elementary school showed Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, which is so funny that we're mentioning it because I think we've now mentioned that movie like 3 or 4 episodes in a row.
I think
Even
it's famous on our podcast at this point.
yeah, and I hate it because I did not like that movie, so it's so funny it keeps coming up.
And
But
I
this is a
gave it like
true
1.5, and I feel like so stupid for now. Like I feel like I should just give it a half a star just because of how much we bring it up.
Yeah, man. So it was shown in a fourth grade class, 20 to 30 minutes of this movie. Um, and this was at a charter school, so it wasn't a public school, but so the parents pay extra for this kind of school.
And I have to
Um,
say though, sorry to cut you off. I know
yeah, go
I cut
ahead.
you off so much, but as a Canadian, I've heard a lot of stories about this state, and I bet you anyone listening can guess where this happened.
Yeah, yeah. This
And
is
where did it happen?
Florida, of course, man. It had to be. Yeah, Florida
Sorry, that's
is
a
the
Canadian
punching bag.
dig. Yeah,
No, everyone knows Florida is the punching bag here. I
yeah,
mean, it's a lot of the southern states are. Alabama gets a lot of hell, saying
yeah.
that it's incest, and West Virginia is another one.
Right.
But Florida is king. I mean, there's a whole subreddit called Florida Man, and it's all just the story of a Florida man blank. Or if you go to Google and
Yes.
type a Florida man, you'll see the
Right.
craziest
Fights an
autofill.
alligator and then killed his wife or something crazy. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Oh man. So yeah, so fourth grade class saw it. So that's what, 9 years old. Definitely too young to see that movie. And it sucks just because that movie sucks. So it's like at least show them a good horror movie. Apparently, some of the students asked him to turn it off or didn't like it, and they he didn't do it. But apparently, all the students have now been assigned to the school's health counselor for mental health counseling.
it's not funny. I'm sorry, but it is.
It is. It is.
And
It's
I would have
funny.
rather them watched all 2 hours and 45 minutes of The Exorcist than 20 to 30 minutes of Blood and Honey.
Definitely. So many other. I mean, there's just so many other movies.
Yeah.
Even Jaws or
Yes.
Halloween, the original,
Before we
Chucky.
get into box office,
Yeah.
I have news. Matt, our Patreon, just messaged me. He wants us to watch a movie called A Brighter Summer Day. He says it's one of his favorites, a long one, but so rewarding.
Okay.
So, Matt, we are writing that down. A brighter summer day. We will. So we have a month to watch it. So whatever works, we got to watch it before next month. Before if he signs up for another month, if he continues, then he gets another movie next month. So,
Yeah,
um,
and okay, that sounds good. And
yeah.
we might need to eventually cap that because if we have 10 people assigning 10 movies a month, that might get tough.
I have it at 7, but
Oh, okay, okay.
I can lower it. I can even lower it to
Okay, as long
5.
as you thought of that.
I
As long as you
did,
thought of it.
yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah.
All right, so
Um,
then let's move on to box office.
yes.
All right, so this is for domestic totals or North America. Taylor Swift obviously was king. She came out with 92.8 million, which is biggest for any concert film ever, above Justin Bieber, above Michael Jackson, Justin Timberlake. So yeah, it was huge. It was huge. There were some estimates putting it higher, and so there was like a variety. One of the Hollywood rags was like, "Oh, she missed expectations." Like, okay, it made $92 million. It's all just fine.
I think I remember, I think I said last week even that it was like 110 to 120, but yeah,
Yeah, 92 million. It's great. 93
that's
million
good.
almost, and that's just its opening weekend. It still has a
Yes,
couple more to go. And
exactly.
an interesting thing they did with this. So two things. Well, we can talk about it through the review when we get to the review
Yes,
next.
yes.
All right. So next, I have to eat some crow. Exorcist Believer made 10.9 and it only fell 58%. Last week I was talking that, it could drop 70, 80%. I was way off. This movie's going to do just fine. It's already made 50 something million worldwide.
Mhm.
So it's a financial success. It's just fine. Kind of. I mean,
Can I rub it in a little because I did kind of combat you on that last week?
yeah, you did. Yeah. Let me have it.
No, I'm just kidding. No, I only said because since there was nothing new or
hmm
really if and the people that aren't like, the people who want to see a horror movie have probably already seen Saw X. So they're
Yep.
like, hey, might as well just go see Exorcist,
Yeah.
see how
Yep.
bad it really is. But
Yep. Yep.
anyways,
Yeah. No, I'm totally. My prediction was totally wrong, and I'm fine to admit that I was
almost
dead
sixty
ass wrong.
percent though. That's not great, but I mean, it's gonna make 100 million by the end of this. I bet,
Yeah. Yeah.
if
Yeah.
not more.
And yeah, I mean it's definitely financially fine. They did pay 400 million for it, but that they can eat the cost of that. They can make more
Yes,
movies in the future with it.
and that's streaming rights too
Streaming rights, digital
on.
rights,
Yeah,
um, merchandise types. I mean, there's
yeah,
tons and tons of avenues to make money back from movies.
yeah.
So yeah, the budget I think was only 30 million or something. So it's
Nothing
already
crazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's already made its budget. So it'll do just fine. And it looks like we're gonna get those sequels. Um,
Yay.
Paw Patrol made another 6.8 at number 3. Saw 10 made another 5.6, which I didn't tell you this. I saw again last night. Saw X. I saw it a second time, but I went because two of my friends here in Atlanta wanted to go see a movie, and we went to where I work and we saw it for free. So I saw it a second time. I still liked it. Still fun.
Yeah.
I didn't really notice anything else that I didn't catch the first time, but yeah,
Actually, that's. I don't know if I told you this, but before I went to go see The Exorcist. No, I went to go see The Exorcist, and then as I was waiting for the creator, I went in and watched the last half hour of Saw X. So I kind of saw the end again. Was yeah. No, that's funny.
yeah.
And so nothing you like. Did you still like it?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's still the best since the first one. I went back and watched, CinemaSins on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah, I do. Yeah,
So, whatever about them. I went back and I sometimes will use them as a reminder of a movie because they go through the whole movie.
yeah.
So I went back and
That's
watched all of their Sins videos on all the other Saw movies,
oh
and
wow.
this one definitely is
Yeah,
is the second best, I think. Yeah, definitely. It's either second or third best. So anyway,
yeah.
they made another 5.6 million. This movie also is doing fine. And then sadly the creator only made 4.3, and it looks like it's gonna drop a lot of theaters next week. So it sucks because that movie's good. But
Yeah, it is good.
yeah, that's the top
Exorcist
five.
has made 86 million worldwide so
Oh,
far. So it's
oh,
gonna make
yeah.
well over 100 million worldwide.
Yep. Yep.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Jeez, like I can't believe like I can see why like anyways, I'm
Yeah,
stumbling over
well,
myself, but horror is just in
I
a
was gonna say,
renaissance right
horror
now.
movies can always do well. They're often critic proof. Nobody cares what the bad reviews are. Like, I mean, stuff like the Bye Bye Man, that movie got like almost a zero, and it was terrible, but it made its budget back.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
So yeah, horror is cheap to produce, and the fans always go
Yeah.
see it. So that's why
It
we get
doesn't
lots
cost
and
that
lots of
much.
horrors.
Yeah, I mean, I just want more like creature horror, but they don't want to do that too much because then you got CGI, right? So,
Yep. Yep.
um, but anyways,
All right, so let's get to our reviews. Let's start out with Taylor Swift, The Eras Tour. So this is directed by Sam Wrench. It's everyone knows what this is, right? It's a Taylor's concert tour. It was recorded over 4 different shows in LA. She did
was
three
it?
or yeah, she did 3 or 4 nights in
Okay.
LA at the SoFi Stadium, and this is cut together with that. It's a
Okay.
pure concert film. There's no behind the scenes or leading up to or no interviews with Taylor. It's
Yeah.
just the movie starts and it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and Taylor comes out on stage. Um, and I learned from this that it's the Eras tour because she hasn't toured in a long time and she's come out with 3 or 4 albums since. So each part of this is a section of her her
Career.
her work, her career, right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like a few songs from this album, a few songs from this album, and so on and so on. So I didn't technically see this movie. I worked at the theater while this movie was showing, though, as a server, Friday night, Saturday, Sunday night. So
Mhm.
3 days and probably 4 or 5 showings per shift. So
Wow.
I collectively have seen most of this, but I haven't sat down myself and watched the whole thing. Um, I'll just give my thoughts and then I want to hear yours. I was really impressed. I didn't know what to expect going in. Couple of things that I noticed were I recognized more songs than I thought I knew. I think I
Hmm.
knew 6 of her songs, and
Hmm.
if you had asked me before, I would say I knew two. Like "Shake It
Right.
Off" and um, and
She's just been popular for so long
yes,
that you probably
yes.
didn't realize like things like from her early days, right?
Yeah, yeah, yep. The choreography, I think the filmmaking of this was done really cool. Um, the choreography is great. The dancing is awesome. The stage she uses is cool. When she's walking, there's a scene where the glass cracks underneath her, which is
Hmm.
super cool.
Hmm.
Um, and her outfit changes are incredible, man. I mean, I guess that's through the beauty of filmmaking, but the editing, it looks like she's changing outfits in like one second. Um, but she changes outfits every 3 songs, and the stage changes every 3 songs.
Yeah.
So it was high production value. It was really entertaining. The crowds that came to see it loved it. Loved it. I'm sure our listeners have seen the TikToks and the YouTube shorts of people at this concert. For the ones we shown, it was like an actual concert. These girls were dancing, had their phones out like flashlights. I delivered a beer to this woman and she like hugged me. She was like singing and I had to like
Oh my
scoot
god.
by everyone to get down to the middle of the row, to bring a beer. And she like extended her arms out, was like, thank you, and like gave me a hug. It was
Oh
just,
my
it
god.
was amazing. It was awesome. So yeah, overall, I like this. I'm glad that, and it was great for theaters, right? We did tons of business, and
Yeah.
if we didn't have this, we would have had a shitty, paltry, slow weekend with just Exorcist, Paw Patrol, and Saw X again.
Well,
So
Exorcist. This would have been the weekend Exorcist would have been coming out, right?
yeah,
Because
originally,
Exorcist moved.
yep, yep.
But yeah,
So yeah, what was your experience with it?
yeah, I loved it. I couldn't give it anything but 5 stars on Letterbox because I there's nothing I can really knock it for. I mean, if I wanted to get into the weeds, they only played one song from the Red album, which has a lot of great songs on it, and one of my
Yeah,
favorites. I am a Swifty, if you want to call it that, but I liked her early stuff, and I like her last few albums. I didn't wasn't really a 1989. Wasn't really a like when she got really poppy. Wasn't for me. Her later stuff, she's got more indie and stuff, and I've really loved it. The woman has a way of like bringing back memories and things you felt and emotions and she was great. Um, like apparently the budget for this movie was 10 to 20 million dollars, which I could see, but you can't really count the cost of the actual production of the
right, because she was there performing
show because
anyway.
she was doing it anyways. But I can see where the money went in some CGI. They did this snake thing that was really cool.
Yep.
Um, I went with somebody who had seen the show, and she told me that like she couldn't actually see the snake that we see it on the screen. On the screen, it looks very 3D and CGI. Um, and yeah, she's great. I kept thinking like, how can anyone do this for 3 hours? I can barely
I
do a one
know.
hour podcast without yawning. How
Yeah, I
can you
know, right?
fucking? How can anyone have this much energy for 3 hours? And I mean,
Yeah,
I know
she's
like
working her ass off. You can see like
yeah.
the sweat on her face. Like she's just
Yeah.
a hardworking person and she's extremely talented. So I am happy for her success.
I don't want to go on too long because people are probably going to get annoyed, but like the sets were incredible. Like when I can't remember if it was Evermore or Folklore, but she had the like a whole house
Yep, yep.
like built on stage, and she was going through the background dancers were characters in themselves. Like there's this one bigger black guy who was probably gay, who
Yeah,
had
definitely.
some really funny moments. And then she had full on like so you think you can dance dancers, like almost like, I don't know if they were from So You Think You Can Dance, but like they were doing just like full on ballerina dances and stuff to some of her songs. Like I think if you would all like Taylor Swift, or your kids do, I think this is gonna be a good time for anyone. I don't think I'm selling this to anyone who doesn't like Taylor Swift. Like my fiance doesn't like Taylor Swift. He hates her. Like, and I think people like to hate what's popular,
Definitely,
and
definitely. And she's at the
um,
top. So
yeah, and my partner said, well, she's all about drama, and then I say like, I think the drama follows someone who's popular. Look at Madonna. Look at Mariah
Michael
Carey.
Jackson.
Like Michael Jackson. Everyone like the drama surrounding them.
Billie
I just
Eilish is a new one, same thing, like,
yeah,
they make
yeah.
the drama follows them, sure.
I don't know. I just I have a hard time when people say like, "Oh fuck Taylor Swift," and I'm like, well, like she hasn't gotten to where she is on nothing. She writes 90% of her songs. She's a great promoter. I don't know. I'm getting too passionate
Don't worry
about
about what
Taylor.
other people think.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't. It's just but now I feel like I just hate people hating things that are popular just for the sake of hating them because they're popular. Like people, now it's cool to bash on Marvel because it's popular and it's like, well, there's some good ones in there. But anyways, I'll stop. But anyways, it was good. Uh I can't give it anything but 5 stars because I just like I you know what you're getting into. It's not going to be in my top 10 or 20 of the year, and it's not like that. It's not a movie, but it's good. It's
Yeah,
good.
I think
And
it's great, and,
yeah.
I am interested to see what doors this opens for other musicians or live acts to do the
Yeah.
same. Because my interest a lot of times is how does this help the theaters, and if anything can bring people to the theaters. I mean,
Yep.
this was interesting. The demographic for this was 84% women, even more
Yeah.
than Barbie, and
Yeah.
so that tells you it's not that people don't want to go to the theaters, it's that the theaters aren't giving something that everyone
Yeah.
wants to see. So if we can get more stuff like this that gets people out, and I'm telling you, it was like a concert in there. It was like
Yeah.
people, like, I had to walk out. I remember leaving. So when I have a down minute, I stand in the entry and watch some of the
Yep.
show.
Yep.
There was a point where like the girl screaming was so loud it was hurting my ears that I had to like leave the theater.
Wow.
It was like piercing. I was like, "Oh God, no."
I
So
mean,
yeah, it was
I
great.
was singing, especially like when she started to do some of the ones I liked, and um,
Yeah, everyone was singing.
yeah. But
It was great.
we were also in like a restaurant one is where you could eat at your
Yeah, ours is that too. That's what ours is,
huh.
yeah.
And it's weird. Everyone was kind of subdued.
So, I noticed I did have some like that. It was kind of funny. Some of the showings were concert-like,
Yeah.
some of them were very subdued, and I got to a point where I went to the general manager of this theater and I said, "Hey, maybe we should introduce the movie and tell people, 'Hey, you're
Oh,
welcome to
our guy
dance and
did
sing.'"
that.
Oh, he did? Okay, good. I wanna do that. I would love to do that.
Because
Um,
so the second night, yeah, he came out and he said, like, we want you guys to dance, we want you guys to sing, have fun, be mindful of your neighbor, try not to stand up unless everyone's standing up. And he said, if you want to take pictures, even take pictures. And I was trying to get a picture of the her one background singer who was great, and she has so many great background singers. There was one guy with really long hair, and I can't shake my head slightly without getting dizzy. And this guy has like really long, like down to his nipples hair, and he was shaking it like I was like, this guy's gonna have brain damage just from the way he's shaking it. But and that
strong
was
neck
obviously
muscles.
it was probably through Shake It Off. But yeah, cried a little bit when she did All Too Well, the 10-minute version. But
Oh, yeah, yeah.
yeah, so.
Alright, well,
All
good.
right,
Well, let's
let's
move
move
on.
on. Let's move on. You want me to do?
Yeah,
uh,
do this one. I did you mention this last week?
No, because last week I told you guys that I had watched Pet Cemetery the original and Pet
Oh,
Cemetery 2. So from 1989, and then 2 was from 2000. Oh, sorry, from 92 or 93.
okay.
Um,
So this is the Paramount Plus one, Pet Sematary
yes.
Bloodlines.
So Pet Cemetery Bloodlines is a prequel to all of them. It is essentially a prequel to the remake that came out a few years ago with Jason Clarke and John Lithgow.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, and this one, oh, yeah, go ahead, tell who's in it, right?
yeah, so this one, I don't know if I recognize anyone in it. Why?
David
Oh, yeah, I
Duchovny
do. Yes.
from
David
X-Files.
Duchovny from X Files and Henry Thomas from well, he's the young boy in ET. He's in this.
Yeah, and but
Samantha,
also there's a woman in it too, and
yes, Samantha Mathis or
no.
oh, Natalie Allen Lind is the lead. Is that who you're talking about?
No,
She
I'll look
was
it up.
in she's I think she's kind of up and coming, but anyways, Forrest Goodluck, who I did actually recognize. Jackson White
Pam
is the
Grier, sorry,
lead.
Pam Grier is who I'm thinking of.
Yes. Oh, I'm so sorry. Jack Mulhern, Samantha Mathis, Pam Grier, yes, Steve Love. It's yeah, it's this movie's wild. Actually, let me just pull up my notes because so the movie starts. It's in 1969, so it's set like 50 years before the remake.
Okay, so it's a prequel.
Yes, and so it is a prequel with young Judd Crandall, and Judd Crandall is the older guy in the movie, and he lives next door to the main couple in the and he comes over and warns them about the highway, and then he shows them the pet cemetery kind of thing, and he's lived there for years and years and years. So this is about him as a young boy in the hometown of Ludlow. And obviously we find out there's family secrets and stuff like that, and he may be better connected, like there's history and um but there is some Native American representation because that's what the original kind of alluded to. That's where the pet
Yeah.
cemetery comes from, is like the Micmac tribe, um stuff like that. So, and this one, is going to leave town with his girlfriend, who I said earlier, played by Natalie Allen Lind. Her name is Norma. They're going to leave town. But before he leaves, he has heard that his old buddy, who they used to be friends when they were little. You know how it goes. Timmy, he is back from the war, World War II, or no, sorry, the Vietnam
Vietnam.
War, and he wants to go see his friend before he leaves, and make sure he's okay. Well, his friend has basically already been zombified, whatever kind
Okay.
of happens. Because I think it's like he kind of. I don't want to get too into the weeds, but I think it's implied that he died in the war, and
Right.
his dad, David Duchovny, plays as his dad, and may have brought Timmy back to life,
Okay.
as well as Timmy's dog.
I was gonna
So
say, is
when
there a pet in this? There's gotta
Yeah,
be.
for some reason we don't even know how, but Timmy's dog had died, and is like they are both like have died and risen from the pet cemetery before the movie even starts.
Okay.
Um, so we see that, and we watch. Sorry, what was I gonna say? We watch. He goes to the house, and of course the dog like runs at the girlfriend and bites her arm,
Right.
and so they have to stay in town. It's so weird. They go to the hospital, and it's like 1969. They go to the hospital, and all she had was a bite on her arm. Right? They're like, we're gonna keep her for a few nights just in
A
case.
few nights.
I'm like, what? I'm like, in
Especially back in
1960,
those days, a dog
exactly.
bite, they just be like, put a band-aid on it, you're fine.
Exactly. Like they wrap her arm, she's laying there in bed, and so Judd, the main guy, he's all like, "Oh, well, we can't leave now." And of course that leads him to trying to uncover what's going on with Timmy and his friends. I've spent way too much time on a movie that is pretty much garbage. Uh,
Oh, so was it good?
it's no, it's weak, clumsy, it's silly, the script is awkward. Like, you brought up Pam Grier, forgot she was even in this because she has fuck all to do.
Oh, that
And
sucks.
she was the lead in that Tarantino movie that I love.
Jackie
With
Brown?
Yeah, Jackie Brown. She's the
Yeah.
lead in that,
Oh
and
yeah,
I was
she's
like,
awesome. She is
yeah.
badass.
And she's just got like nothing to do in this fucking
Oh, that's
movie.
a
Like,
bummer because she hasn't been in much that I can remember
no,
recently.
like this must have been a paycheck. So yeah, it's just dull. It's incohesive at times. Hi, go lay down. Um, and yeah, the script, it's all pointless. I mean, none of the actors are really that good, or they don't do anything like really interesting. Like they could have done so much with this storyline, and it kind of just ends. Like David Duchovny looked bored the whole time. Just skip it.
Damn.
Just skip it unless you're like a diehard and you like need to
A
know what
Pet Cemetery
happens, but
completist.
yeah, which I am now, a Pet Cemetery completist, but I didn't realize it was going to be this bad. I think some people might get something out of it because like the movie like looks really good.
Hmm.
Um, for a a Paramount Plus movie, like it's shot really well. The sets are really good. Like they do, the movie looks sweet. Like kind of like punk rock almost, like you're like, oh, like I'm vibing with this, just like with the vibe you get, and but it just goes downhill really quickly. So
Is this better or worse than the 2019 Pet Cemetery with Jason Clarke?
I really like the Pet Cemetery 2019 one.
Okay, so
Given I
worse.
watched that first, and I gave that like 3.5, 4 stars. I really enjoyed that one. So,
Okay.
did you see that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I saw it in the theater. Yep.
And you didn't like it?
I gave it 2.5 stars.
Okay.
It was okay. It was all
I
right.
gave I gave this one 1 star. I just not
All
for
right.
me.
Okay.
So,
All right. Next I can do She Came to Me.
did she?
I wish Anne Hathaway would come to me, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so She Came to Me. This is a 2023 movie directed by Rebecca Miller. She did Maggie's Plan,
Right.
Ballad of Jack and Rose, which I don't know. So really, and Arthur Miller, some movie about Arthur Miller. But yeah, mainly known I think for Maggie's Plan. I don't. If for people listening, you might want to go check out the trailer for this one because this has all the pieces to be a good movie or an interesting movie or a sneaky Sundance hit. Because the cast is Peter Dinklage, Marissa Tomei, Anne Hathaway, and a few other assorted people. But those are our main players. Um, and the story is this: Peter Dinklage is a composer. He's having writer's block. All right. He's unable to finish the score. He's married to Anne Hathaway. She is a psychiatrist. Um, so his wife, as the psychiatrist, tells him, go get lost in the city to help your writer's block. Go for a walk, right? So he goes out for a walk. This is Peter Dinklage goes out for a walk with their little cute French bulldog. He sets out searching for inspiration, right? And he has an epiphany after he meets a very spirited, and in the trailer, this is in the trailer, she says she's addicted to romance, basically. So Marissa Tomei is basically a sex addict. She's a tugboat captain, which is a funny profession for Marissa Tomei.
Huh.
And she says she basically just goes city to city banging guys. She went to rehab for sex addiction, um, and they end up having a little fling. And he then goes on to write a new opera about a tugboat captain who captures and eats men. And then the story kind of goes from there, right? Does his wife end up finding out? And if she does, what ends up happening? But the other weird part of this story that's bolted onto this movie is Dinklage and Anne Hathaway have a daughter. It's not his daughter, it's Anne Hathaway's daughter. Then this other family has a daughter who is also half of the parent currently, right? The daughter is the daughter of the mother, where her father is the step. And I want to mention this. I want to mention who this mother is played by. So this is the other family's mother, played by Joanna Kulig. She was in Ida, and she was in the 2017 movie Cold War, which I absolutely loved. It got nominated for Best Foreign Film, um,
Right.
um, Best Foreign Film, Best Cinematography, and I think Best Song. It had 3 Oscar noms. It came out of
Okay.
nowhere. Mitch, you hadn't even heard of this movie. It's
No.
black and white. It's
Oh no.
really a beautiful romance story. It's hard to recommend or who I would watch this with. Maybe with a girlfriend or something is someone I could talk into watching this. This is Cold War I'm talking about. So anyway, she's the mom of this other family. So Dinklage and Anne Hathaway have a son. He's on a track to go to good schools. And Juliana Kulig and has a husband, and they have a daughter. They just turned 18. Sorry, the daughter just turned 15 or 16, and the boy is 18, and they end up hooking up with each other. But they've been dating for years. It's a totally like consensual and fine relationship.
But
It,
they're sorry, so they're not related, but
They're not related. They have yeah, I need to make this clear. They're not related. The boy and the girl are not related, but their
Okay.
families are I don't want to use this word, but it'll explain it. They both come from the same broken home. They both
Okay.
live with a step parent.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought you meant like one parent was the parent of the and then they
No,
weren't.
no,
Yeah. Okay.
I set it up wrong. Yeah, so that's what they have in common, these two kids. So again, the
Okay.
story is about Peter Dinklage and his writer's block as an opera writer, but then
Hmm.
there's also these kids in this, and their hookup causes a problem with the other family because the dad is super strict by the book. He's a
Oh.
court stenographer, and he's like, "Oh, well, that boy, he doesn't like the boy because the boy is a person of color, and
Oh.
the boy just turned 18 and his daughter is only 16, so he's like, "Oh, it's technically against the law." So he
Oh
records his
God.
daughter confessing that they had sex, and he wants to prosecute this.
Hmm.
So those are the two stories, and they just don't meld well together. And
Right.
that was the major problem with this movie. It did go by quickly. The acting is a lot of fun. Anne Hathaway choose the scenery as she has been doing since Ocean's 8 and The Witches. Anne
Yeah.
Hathaway has been just this stage of her career has been great.
Yes.
She's
I
awesome
agree.
in this. She's really funny. Um, but yeah, the movie just doesn't work, and it's a shame because the idea is fun. The Peter Dinklage stuff is fun. He plays this writer's block composer really well, but it's just very forgettable. And earlier in this episode, I said the worst movie that I will talk about is its only crime is that it's forgettable. That's
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah.
So I saw it in the theater with some people, and I did hear some laughs, and I did laugh a couple of times, maybe 3 times.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, it's just a bummer that it wasn't better because Marissa Tomei, right? She's so great. Everyone loves her. And then you have Dinklage as playing a different type of person than you'd expect him to play.
Yeah.
His career's been interesting too, actually. So
I'm glad to
yeah,
see roles for a little person.
yeah,
I'm
little
sorry
people,
if
yeah,
that's
and it's not. And now the cool thing is, it's not commented on at all in this.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
not
That's
a
what I
plot
mean. It's
point. It's
just
just he's just a man who's
exactly.
married. Um, and let me remind you of Dinklage's recent roles. Did you see I Care a Lot with Rosamund Pike?
Yeah, I love that movie.
He was awesome in it, right? He was the
Yeah, he
badass like
was.
mob guy.
Yes.
Um, and then he was also in a movie with
I know we had one last year where it was like a musical, but I never ended up seeing it.
yeah, it was a Shakespeare one.
Yeah.
But he was also in one with oh, what's her name? From Georgia. Oh man, it was a very small. I think we're alone now
Georgia. Oh, I think we're alone
with
now.
Elle Fanning and Paul Giamatti.
Oh, is it good?
I didn't like it that much, but it was a good. I gave it 2 stars, but it was an interesting turn for him. It was an apocalyptic. The human race
Okay.
had been wiped out. So yeah, him and Elle Fanning in it, and Paul Giamatti. So yeah, and then he was in Three Billboards for a small little role.
Oh, I
Um,
remember the poster. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I
So
think we're alone
so
now.
anyway, that's I've said enough about this. So that's She Came to Me. It's in theaters. It'll probably get to streaming soon. Um, I gave it 2.5 stars. It's
Yeah.
totally fine. It's not bad, but it's definitely not good. So yeah, yeah, that's She Came to Me. I think what happened with this is it came together. People thought, oh, this could be really great. It could be a film festival
Yeah.
darling, and
It
it could get
looks
some
like it.
awards. Yeah, yeah, because it's got some decent dialogue and it's funny, but overall just kind of forgettable. So that's She Came to Me. Tell me about Passages. What did you think of
Yeah.
Passages? So
Um.
set the movie up. So I talked about this a couple weeks ago, but remind us what
Oh,
it's about and who's in it.
feels like a long time ago, but so directed by Ira Sachs, who I know he's a gentleman. I know the name, but I didn't recognize any of his movies.
Yeah, the
Um,
name does sound familiar to me.
yeah. So Keep the Lights On, Love is Strange, Little Men, and then Passages. Um, this movie is about a gay couple, played by Ben Wishaw and Franz Rogowski.
Yes, he's awesome.
So he is
Yep,
Thomas kind
yep.
of, but Tomas
Tomas.
is
Yep.
so he is our main character. He's in basically every scene. I think he's in every scene. And
He's a director, right?
he's a I think he's a film director. We only get to see a little bit or a stage director. We see a little bit of at the beginning and then They talk about it a little bit more. It's pretty cool. This is in he's a German filmmaker, but he's in Paris,
Yep.
and he's just kind of completing his last film, and he meets this woman, and so he must be bisexual, and he meets this woman, and
Definitely.
he just falls for her,
And she's played
and
by.
she is played by Adele Exarchopoulos.
That's why I wanted to see if you could say it.
From Blue is the Warmest
Yes.
Color. She has grown up. She's a beautiful woman now, like today. Like you think back to Blue is the Warmest Color and think, God, she was just seems so young. Like
I know, right? It
she
really
looks so much
is.
older now. And she's great in this. They all are. Franz Rogowski, I don't know him too much.
Yeah, let me just say in here, he was in Undying, Undine. Did you see that
Okay,
one? That
no.
was 2020. It was an awesome movie about a woman who kind of eats men's lures them into this deep end of the pool
Oh,
and consumes them. It's really good. It's called Undine, 2020 movie. But
good for
he was
her.
he made his real star shine from Transit, 2018.
Okay.
Um, it's like a German version of Casablanca. It's
Hmm.
fantastic, called Transit.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen anything, but
He was also in one more. He was in the Terrence Malick movie from 2019, A Hidden Life. He was
oh,
excellent in
okay.
that one too.
Oh, yeah, I did hear about that one. I read a few articles because I actually wanted to know more about what was going on with his lips. He
Yeah,
does have a
that's yep,
cleft palate.
yep.
I thought it was a hair lip or whatever. So he's kind of got this weird way of speaking. Sorry, I don't mean weird, but it's definitely different. But so I was kind of curious, and then yeah, and so he meets this woman and basically has sex with her that night, and then he comes home to his husband,
Played by Ben Whishaw, yep.
yeah, played by Ben Whishaw, who the voice of Paddington,
Oh, that's
and
right. I didn't know
yeah.
that. Oh my God. And he was also in Women Talking last year. He was the only man in that
Yes,
movie.
yes, he was the only man in that movie. Yes, and he basically just said to his husband, "Yeah,
I met this woman, I had sex with
I had
her.
sex with her, and like basically says I think I'm in love, uh, and he I don't want to give too much away, but he kind of proceeds to like proceed this relationship. It's a little
Yeah,
confusing,
and he hurts Ben Wishaw's feelings and Ben Wishaw's like, "Okay, well, then we gotta break up." Like,
yeah.
can't just
So
fuck
he's
other people, like, they don't have that kind of arrangement, you know? And this guy,
right.
this guy is very bold, and it's nice that he's open and honest with his feelings, but throughout the movie, Mitch, it shows that he is in this world just for himself. He's not
Yes,
considerate of other people.
he is
There's a gr
a sorry.
No, 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 I cut you off.
He's a narcissist. He is
Narcissist.
self-involved, very self-involved, and so it's literally like this love triangle, but like obviously like it's just between him, and he kind of keeps like he goes and he's dating Adele, this Adele girl, and then but then he is jealous of his past love and he
Yeah,
wants that back with Ben Wishaw, but then doesn't want things to end with Adele. Like and it's this movie. I really ended up liking this movie quite a lot. There's some funny moments I even found, like some moments where I
very.
laughed out loud.
There's a
Um,
dinner where Adele he
yes,
meets Adele's parents, and
yes,
he you go to a dinner to meet someone's parents, right? And he's wearing a mesh crop top, like as if he was a male dancer at a gay strip club,
yes, yeah.
and he
But
doesn't see anything wrong with it.
no, and I kind of like him. Like
Yeah, yeah, he's likable.
I do. He was kind of hateable by the end. I think by
Yeah,
the end I
yeah,
was like, "Okay, fuck this guy."
yeah, he's an
Um,
asshole.
I think this movie is very real. This
Yes.
writer, this director,
Yeah, Iris
he,
X.
yeah, he touched into. He got real performances out of these actors. He got um some really raw emotion that you don't see in movies very often unless you seek out little movies like this, where they're like I've been there. I've been some of these characters before. I've been the asshole. I've been the hurt. You
Yeah,
just I
yeah,
put
it's very
myself in
real.
the these shoes of these characters a lot. This movie, so I honestly I recommend it. I gave it 4 stars.
Cool, good. I'm so glad
I
you liked it.
I think just I gave it 4 stars because I would go higher if I don't know. It's not a happy ending. It's not a
Right.
and by the end you're dealing with an unlikable character, which is hard to win anybody over on. Like it's hard to say, hey, I really recommend this movie when you're probably gonna hate the guy by the end. But yeah, it's kind of like a look of this guy saying, hey, the grass is greener over there, and then he jumps the fence, and then
Yeah.
he's like,
And then he
wait, no,
misses
the
what he
grass
had.
was greener over
Yes.
there, and then he jumps the fence. And there's some really great moments, and Ben Whishaw is his character is great, and the way he handles everything is is mostly smart and interesting. It's just these are fully realized characters, and
Definitely.
I love any movie that has characters that are just realized from bottom to top. And yeah, some a really a really passionate gay sex
That's what I
scene.
was just gonna say. What did you think of the gay sex scene? Was it titillating for you? Were you surprised to see that level of graphic in
My
a
mom
movie?
now listens to the podcast, so I'm not gonna say, but
Okay, yeah,
it
you don't have to
was
answer that.
it was definitely well done. It was I think it was true to life in a gay setting, and I think it was a lot of this was very um what's the word I'm looking for? Sensual. Like it reminded me a lot of the Handmaiden,
Ah,
because
I gotta see it.
like the sex is used in a like I don't like sex in movies very often. And to me it's like, okay, did we need that? Did we really need that?
I'm glad you bring this up.
And but when it's used well, like it is in the Handmaiden and in here, and like in this movie, sorry to keep going on about it, but in this
No, because I
movie,
want to say something. I think you're about to say it.
you there is a the sex is used to realize how much passion is and love is between these people or not, or
Yes.
and it's like you can say a million words, but sometimes unless you see that sex scene on the screen and see kind of how they're feeling, if the sex scene is done well. Some
Right.
movies
And
just are like, here's boobies, and
right,
it's
right.
like,
And yeah, early like slasher movies and 80s stuff, it was yeah,
yeah,
just to show boobs on screen because porn
yeah,
wasn't easily accessible by everyone and every person everywhere. But
right,
what I wanted to say and what you just nodded at was I thought the sex in this movie was used well because it told us more about his character, the type of sex, the way they,
yeah, yeah,
the actual
yeah,
scene gives us more information into who this guy is, right? The way
yeah,
he has sex. There's different ways of having sex, right? And the way he does it tells us more about who he is. And I thought
yeah.
that was brilliant, even though I don't necessarily enjoy watching um, that type of sex sometimes. But it was
Why do you
done
have a
so well.
dildo on the counter back there then?
No,
I'm
that's a
just kidding.
candle. That's a candle.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. No, and I think Tomas is I don't think he's a bad guy. Like I think he does some very asshole things, but I think he's and still figuring himself out
Yeah,
in
hopeless
his
romantic.
late
He's just looking
30s.
for
And
love and
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I liked this
And
too. I'm so glad you liked it. It was,
it
and
was so funny.
it's foreign
Sorry.
movies. Like, no, you're good. I was just gonna say, it's like this is why I like to discover foreign films because there's just no way a studio would make anything like this in the United
Yeah.
States or Canada, right? We have to see it from other countries. So
I had
it was
no
great.
idea he was German, and then my and John said to me, he's like, I said, what is? I said, there's something wrong with his, like, he's got a hair lip or something, and he's like, no, he's just German. And so I said, no, there's something else. But I was so surprised he pointed out that he was German because I couldn't place the accent. But so yeah, so this is he's a German guy in
Yep.
Paris. Adele's French, and then Ben Wishaw is English. So it's such a melting pot. And Yeah, we were 20 minutes into this, and John and I had to pause it and have a fight, because and not a fight, but like it was like because it was just interesting the way they were doing things in the movie. I was like, yeah, that is how a real fight happens, and or not a real fight, but and in the opening scene when Tomas comes when he just walks into the room and says, "Hey, I had sex with a woman, and I really like her." Um, he kind of Ben Wishaw's character kind of walks away and says basically kind of like, I can't deal with this right now. I love you. I have to go to class. And then Tomas, he just starts packing his stuff.
Yep.
And so I said to John, I was like, like this situation, like how do you feel about it? And like, by the end, we both like kind of empathize with both sides. Like he had to go to school, couldn't, delve into the fact that his husband just cheated on him, and then the other guy, overreacted and just started
Overreacted
packing his
to,
shit.
yes, yes.
But he also kind of had one foot out of the door anyways because he was excited about this woman. But I will stop. I'm so sorry. I think this is worth watching. It's on VOD now. I hope it comes to streaming soon. Oh, it is streaming somewhere. Okay, you go on to your next movie. I'll find where it's
Okay.
streaming.
According to Letterbox, it's not streaming. But yeah, that's Passages 2023. It's
Okay.
great romance movie to watch with your partner, as long as you're not going to get in fights over it. But yeah, it was good. It's something different. This is cool. It was cool.
If you
And
have
the acting is
Mubi,
awesome. Oh, it's on
sorry,
Mubi. Okay,
Mubi. If you have that Mubi, and then Fandango in the states, but then you can rent it for 14.99. That's a little steep, because I think everyone's enjoyment of this is going to vary. So I have a
for
hard time
sure.
saying go spend $15 on it. But anyways, I will stop. You go on to your next movie.
All right, so the next movie is Evil Dead from 2013. This is a remake of the original beloved Evil Dead, and this one has a bit of a cult following too. I think the Evil Dead
Mm-hmm.
fans ended up. This is one of the horror remakes that people ended up liking.
Yep.
Um, so it's directed by Fede Alvarez, who um,
Yeah. What
you
did he just did the remake, right? He just did the sequel.
you'll remember him from. No, he. I think he has something coming up, but he did Don't Breathe,
Right.
that home invasion movie. He did The Girl in the Spider's Web.
Mm-hmm.
And he did an alien movie for Hulu. I didn't see it, called Alien Romulus. Um,
Oh, that was one of the. No, that's an upcoming movie. That's an upcoming Alien movie.
oh, you're right. Oh,
Yeah.
you're right. That's the upcoming project. Thank
That's
you.
why I knew his name,
Yes,
actually, because
yes.
I've been, obviously really excited for that. I don't know if you know, but I like Alien. Keep going.
Yeah. So that's, yeah, Fede Alvarez, director, right? Um, so the movie is, I think a lot of you guys know the story of Evil Dead, but Mia is a young woman struggling with sobriety. So I related to this in a way because, as I've talked about many times on here, I struggled with opiate addiction, still do occasionally. It's a problem I'll have for my entire life. But so her and a bunch of her friends go to a cabin to basically have her go through withdrawal, right? They go to a cabin far in the woods, so she just has to go through it. It sucks.
And she
You get
doesn't know this, right? Or does she?
no, she does. She
Okay.
agrees to it. At the beginning, she pours all her dope or whatever it is down the drain and
Yeah,
says,
yeah, yeah.
"I appreciate you guys being here to help me with this." And they just know they're going to be in this cabin. She's going to be sick, feeling like shit, throwing up, whatever comes with withdrawal. It's different for different people.
Yeah.
And yeah, her friend, her brother, there to support her and do whatever they need and try and have some fun while they're out in the cabin. It's
Yeah.
a cabin that's been in their family. Their family owns it.
And
Um,
as I recall, I think it looks fairly identical to the one in Evil Dead 2 or Evil Dead.
Evil Dead Rise? No,
No,
Evil Dead
like
2.
the original, like they make it look very close. Like they never really said if this was a reboot or a remake or
Right.
a sequel. It was kind of like a soft sequel reboot,
Yeah,
but
spiritual
anyways.
sequel. So yeah, they head to a remote cabin with a group of friends where the discovery of a book of the dead unwittingly summons up dormant demons which possess the youngsters one by one. That's the log line of the movie on Letterbox. So it stars Jane Levy, who you guys will remember from Don't Breathe. She's the main character in that. She looks totally different in this. But it was a fun discovery for me to realize, oh my God, that's the chick from Don't Breathe.
Yeah, I
Um,
didn't even know.
yeah, and then it has Shiloh Fernandez, who I didn't recognize, Lou Taylor Pucci, who I didn't recognize, Jessica Lucas, Elizabeth Blackmore. All of them I didn't recognize. Maybe they've been in other roles or TV, but I just didn't recognize them, which was fine.
Lou Taylor Pucci has been in a lot of movies I like Spring and Carriers,
Okay.
and a few other things, but that's the only other person. I'll shut up.
So this movie, no, you're fine. Keep the let's keep this as a conversation. Like,
I
yeah,
know.
keep it going. Because you've seen this movie and it's one of your favorites, so I'm
It
expecting
is
you to
one of
add
my
stuff to it.
favorites. And Jessica Lucas, I know her. She was in
What was
she
she
was
in?
like the main girl in Cloverfield.
Oh, right.
And I just saw her in Covenant, The Covenant, which was really bad. But anyways,
Okay, yeah. All right.
yeah.
So The movie has some really clunky, shitty dialogue exposition in the beginning. And it's the type that you can't argue with this, Mitch. It's the type that, like, they get out of the car and they say, "Come here, young brother. We haven't seen each other in 2 months.
Okay,
You're a
all
nurse,
right.
right? Okay. And I work in the woods. All right. Good to see you
Yeah,
again."
yeah.
Like, they're really bad, but that's a very small nitpick. You got to get that out somehow.
I do
Um,
hate that stuff. So
yeah, it just
I
sticks out. It really sticks out because
how's your job as a boilermaker? Oh, it's good, but how's yours as a tree operator? I don't know what the fuck I'm trying
yeah,
to say, but you
exactly.
know, yeah.
That's how it is. It's only a couple lines, not a big deal. So that's at the beginning. But the best part, I think, or best parts of this movie was the tension building and the atmosphere that it pulls together. I mean, it is so creepy, and the camera moves fast, like, and it like sweeps around the corner, or something coming through the woods moves
Yes,
fast like an
yes.
animal right at you. So that was done just so well. Another thing that's really well done here, the effects. To me, it looked all practical. I didn't see any CG. Maybe there was a little bit, but man, the practical effects. They must have built dummies. They must have used gallons of pig's blood or whatever they used to simulate blood on
Oh,
set. It was really cool. And it's like it's everywhere. They lay it on, man. A
yeah, this is a
chainsaw goes through
very
someone
bloody movie.
and it's like a waterfall of blood. And it's fun. It's a blast.
Yes. I will
Um,
say the book that is
yeah.
it is in that book is in every single movie, and and whenever they touch it or open it or speak from it, that is what starts
Yeah, that's
the
what starts
the
the
deadites,
dead
and it
getting
is called
infected.
the
Or the
Necronicon.
Oh, Necronomicon.
Yes,
Yes. I think
Necronomicon
Necronomicon,
Ex Mortis. Yes. Okay, keep going.
right? Um, the opening scene is a cold open, so it's someone in the basement somewhere. The father basically burns his daughter alive. She's like, "No, why are you doing this to me?" And all these
Right.
weirdos are watching. And this is the opening scene, so it's not a spoiler. And that sets the tone. So then we
Yeah.
then find out that that book they were reading the spells out of is in the basement of this cabin in the woods that they're all visiting. Now, speaking of cabin in the woods, I could not help but think of the movie The Cabin in the Woods while watching this, because that movie obviously takes a lot from the Evil Dead
Yes.
movies, but it was okay because this was still really fun and good. I thought the script was really well written too, because there's really not any loose ends. If they introduce something, a chainsaw, a gun, a knife, a piece of metal, a shovel, it all will eventually come back into play somehow. I like when things do that. That's the whole screenwriting rule. If there's a gun in the first act, or sorry, if there's a gun in the third act, you have to establish it in the first act, right?
Yep.
That's something that's just great. That makes for good movie making, and this has it in spades here. So
Excuse me.
it was really good. I was totally immersed into the movie. It seems like a night of hell that these people go through, and they are all injured and wounded, and they crawl to make their next move and to kill the Deadites. So, um, yeah, I loved it, and the ending was just awesome. The ending of this was just awesome. I just loved the ending. It was just perfect. I guessed it. I guessed what would happen. Well, I texted Mitch and said, tell me if I get this right. This person or these people will end up surviving, right? And of course, he'll never spoil even when I ask for it, which is annoying.
I
Uh,
did the one time.
oh, you did? Oh, with the others?
No,
No, not that
it
one.
was a while ago. You asked me, and I did. I
You're right.
told
You're
you,
right. And
but
I'm half kidding. So,
no, I know.
yeah, Evil Dead 2013. This is great. It makes me want to see the others. I have, of course, or of course, saw Evil Dead Rise that came out early this year,
Mhm.
but the others I still haven't seen. So, I need to go back
Well,
and
I
see them.
actually saw that Evil Dead 2 will be coming to theaters this weekend. I didn't include it in our coming to theaters. So, keep an eye out for Evil Dead 2 because you can watch that without seeing the first one because it is essentially a remake.
Oh, great.
Um
Okay.
yeah, so if it basically they take everything from the first one and just make it better because the first one was so low budget. There's
Right.
obvious differences, but if you see that one coming up in theaters near you, you should definitely check it out. It's a lot of fun.
Is that Evil Dead 40th anniversary? No, Evil Dead 2.
Evil Dead 2, yeah, I think.
Dead
Or it
by
could be
Dawn?
or maybe it is the first. No, Dead by Dawn is a video game. Evil
It
Dead
is?
Theater.
It's like it's on Fandango. Why would it be Evil Dead 2 Dead by Dawn rated R, an hour and 25 minutes.
What?
Yeah, it looks
Are you
like
sure
Evil
it's
Dead.
maybe it's coming out soon or something?
No,
I don't
because it
know.
already has critic and audience reviews. See, and that's why I sent Mitch a screenshot of all the Evil Dead movies on IMDb, and I was like, I need you to explain what all these are because there's
Yeah,
Ash
right.
versus the Evil Dead. There's just so
That's
many
a
of them.
yeah, and that's the TV show, which
That's right. That's right. So yeah, I like this a lot. I gave it 4 stars. Um, I would definitely go see it again next Halloween or something. It was great. It was great. It was really, really done well and fun. It's just like it's like the perfect Halloween slasher movie. It's only 90 minutes or 95 minutes. Um,
Was
the
there
pl-
enough tree rape for you, or did you want more?
I thought that was a snake.
Did you really?
Yeah, it looked kind of like a snake.
Oh no, it's a
It's
tree
a
that
tree
comes to
branch.
life. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that was interesting. But I mean, it wasn't bad. Like as
No,
far
I
as
know.
as
Like
as far as horror movie sex assault goes, that wasn't
it's
bad at
not
all.
Hills Have Eyes or
No,
anything.
or Last House on the Left, nothing like that.
Ugh,
So yeah,
yeah.
Evil Dead 2013, it's great. I recommend it. Um, Tell us about Totally Killer.
Can I pee first? Do
Yeah,
you mind?
you want to take a break?
Yeah. Sorry, we're gonna take a. Oh, I don't need to tell people.
Right.
Just give me one. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a Nightmare on Elm Street that's getting a re-release this weekend.
Oh, okay. That
Have
I've
you
seen.
seen that? Yeah.
Yes.
Didn't you see it in theaters like last year
Yes.
or recently? Yeah. Okay. It's coming out
Yeah.
this weekend, re-release. So
Let me see. I think I did.
I feel like I remember you talking about it, but
Yeah, that's the one with Johnny Depp. Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Let me see when I saw this. August 20th, 2020.
Oh,
Holy
okay.
shit, so that was 3 years ago. Wow.
Huh.
Man,
Obviously, we didn't know each other
I
that well. Well,
remember
we kind of
no.
did.
Right, right, but we weren't doing the show. That movie I went to see, that was obviously during COVID, so
Yeah.
not much was going on. But I remember the other audience members I saw it with. There was 2 people. They were so shit faced. It was one of their birthdays, and they kept asking me, "Do you have cocaine? Quit hiding the cocaine from us." I'm like, "Dog, I
Oh
don't."
my God.
I'm like, "If I had it, I would share it. I promise." But I don't. I just want to see this movie. And they're all, "Oh, you haven't seen this movie? Oh my God, it's great!" And I'm like, "Yeah, so let's watch it. Let's watch it." It was obnoxious.
Let me watch it. Look at the pop vinyls I got today.
Oh, that's from Sesame Street.
Close. Muppets Christmas Carol.
Oh, Muppets. Okay, that's
Yeah.
cute.
Have you seen a Muppets Christmas Carol?
I'm sure I have.
If I pay $10, will you watch it?
I'm sure I've seen it. It was on. Wasn't it on like ABC every Christmas?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like yeah. Totally Killer. I watched Totally Killer. I can't believe we didn't lead with this because
I've heard some
well,
good things about this. Back to the Future, right?
yeah, so Totally Killer is following in the footsteps of Happy Death Day and what was the other
Yes.
one that kind of played with time and it was like horror-y? Am I crazy? I don't know.
Oh no, you're not.
I
But
know there
keep
was
going.
another one, but Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day 2, like so there's been Fear Street.
That's right.
Remember like they kept going back in time and yeah.
Yeah, one
So
of those 3, right?
yeah, so Totally Killer is this young girl played by Kiernan Shipka.
Right.
Do you know her?
Yes. Oh
What
yeah.
she? I didn't look to see what she's from.
She was in the Black Coat's Daughter, and oh, she was in that
Okay.
terrible movie, The Silence, with um, Tucci. Did you see
Oh
that
yeah,
one?
she was the young girl in that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah.
was so dumb, that
She's
movie.
really good in this. She's having a lot of fun. So she is this young girl. So 35 years ago, her mom was the basically like one of the only survivors of her group of friends. Her mom is played by Julie Bowen from Modern Family,
Right.
and her mom was like the only survivor of her group of friends. Her 3 other friends died from who they call the Sweet 16 killer. He kills them because they're it's called that because they're young girls, and he stabs them 16 times.
Okay.
Um, he wears this like weird mask that maybe kind of looks like Archie from the comics.
Yeah, that mask is a little off-putting. Listeners, go look up the poster for Totally Killer.
Yeah,
It's really creepy.
it is really creepy and I don't know, it could become popular. Um this movie stars maybe some more up and coming people. The people you might know, Jonathan Potts, Randall Park, and no, the dad is played by someone noteworthy, but
Troy?
I can't see it. But
No.
anyways,
Okay.
so at the and um at the beginning of the movie, the killer comes back and kills her mom. And it's not spoilers. It happens in the first act, and what sets off the whole movie. The killer comes back, and so Julie Bowen dies, and obviously her daughter is distraught. Um, it all it this is kind of like a funny tongue in cheek movie, but it all kind of happens very weird. She goes to her friend. She goes to her friend who is like just happens to be building a time machine out of a like a photo booth, and she's working on this time machine, but she can't get it to work. Well, doesn't happen. The killer's coming after her, and she gets the time machine to work, and she goes back to 1986, 1987.
Yeah, and I
Um,
hear this is funny because she gets to go to people and say, reference Back to the Future and say, "This is happening to me." You know the movie Back to the
yes,
Future, right?
yes, because Back to the Future came out in 85, I think,
5, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so she goes to a few people and says, "Have you seen Back to the Future?" And like the popular girls, and she finds out that her mom was kind of a bitch and a popular girl. And so she goes to her mom. She's like, "Have you seen Back to the Future?" And her mom's like, no." And her young mom is played by Olivia Holt, and she is great in this movie. So you got two great leads here, uh, and this movie has a lot of like coincidences. You're
Yeah,
like,
convenient
okay,
coincidences, yeah.
yeah, it's like, okay, that happened. Like, we just kind of got you kind of got to like let it roll. Um, but it's a lot of fun. Obviously, they're in 87, and this is a young girl, millennial or Gen Z, I guess, 17-year-old, and she's gone back in time. And so
So they make fun
there's
of the '80s, right? In the early
well,
'90s.
she makes more fun of like how people could get away with things that they can't now. So, which is kind of fun because, like, you know,
So the Daily Wire wouldn't like this movie.
probably not. She makes
They
fun of, like, oh,
Yeah,
you can't talk to women that way, like,
right.
like stuff like that, right? And then yeah, blah blah blah. She makes like a gay joke is made and stuff, and but overall, this is like a three and a half star movie. It's rated R, but like the kills, it's so obviously CGI blood. Like they haven't
Ah, that
figured out
sucks.
yeah, like you see the knife going in and it's so CGI that it's like kind of distracting. Um but I think this falls on the cast is great, and the movie is just a lot of fun, and it's streaming right now on Prime. So I think you could do a lot worse. It kind of plays into the same world as Fear Street if you liked that, and yeah, it's good.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
it's it's good, but it's not great. It's it borders greatness. It could have like if they had pumped a. I was expecting better humor, but like the humor was kind of like low hanging fruit at times. Like it was a little funny. Like I did laugh a couple times, but the best, and I'm not kind of giving away anything, but like she keeps going up to the secretary, and saying like she needs information about something, and she's used to today's world where like you have to show ID and say you and like
Mhm.
especially at a school, right? And
Right.
she walks up and she's like, okay, so I need to know what class Pam is in right now. I know that's sensitive information, but I am an old friend, and I can go out and I can get, and she just hands her a note with what the class is on and like basically like her phone number. It's
Yep.
just so funny. So
Yep.
it's a good one. I think people are gonna generally like this one. They already are. So, well, I'm just adding my last minute thoughts there. So, why don't you tell us about the others?
Okay, yeah. So the others was playing in a theater near me. This is from 2001. Alejandro Amenabar
Hmm.
directed this one, who I don't know any of his movies.
Hmm.
I think he's a foreign filmmaker, a
Okay.
Spanish director, so he's got some Spanish movies. But this was a well-received movie back in 2001. Young Nicole Kidman, man, she actually doesn't look too different though. She
No.
has aged very gracefully. She is still, super attractive to today. And of course, we see her at the beginning of every movie you see at AMC because they play that stupid AMC ad with her, which I really, really can't wait till they take that away, just because it's so repetitive. I've seen it so many times. But
Hmm.
so the movie is Nicole Kidman lives with her two young kids in a massive mansion in New Jersey, back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, something like that. She's a very religious woman, and she
1945.
thank you. She keeps the house dark because she says her children, Anne and Nicholas, have a rare sensitivity to light, so they cannot touch the sunlight. So these poor
Mm.
kids cannot go outside ever unless it's nighttime, which then they're not allowed to go out. Um, and they have to stay inside with these dark shades over the windows the whole time. Um, the opening scene is these three housekeepers show up at the front door, and turns out Nicole Kidman's character, Grace, just happens to need housekeepers because she just fired the old ones.
Huh.
And this movie is something we've seen before done in other movies. The what's actually going on here you've seen
Yeah.
before, and this is
Yeah.
the one I texted Mitch and said, I think I remember what this was. Is this what happened? And my guess was correct. But the journey, and that's why. Just a side note, I don't really usually care too much about spoilers, and sets unless it's something I'm very much anticipating, say like Dune 2, or maybe that's Killers of the Flower Moon, something like that. Because usually it's the journey, it's the getting there that's the fun part of the movie, not necessarily knowing what happens, right?
Mm.
Um, so anyway, even though I knew how it was going to end, I still had a good time watching the events unfold. So the mom kind of devolves into insanity. She's hearing things. The little girl keeps telling the mom in all earnestness that she's sees someone named Victor. It's a little boy who also lives in the house. And the mom's like, "Stop making up ghost stories. What are you talking about? There's no other kids that live here." And then the mom starts to hear stuff. The piano is playing when no one's in the room. Doors get shut and locked. So all these supernatural things are going on. And as the movie unfolds, we learn that there might be some there might be some actual things happening that they were hearing, that it's not maybe just ghosts, or yeah, or maybe something else is going on. So that's basically this story. It's pretty good. I like this movie. I gave this movie 3.5 stars. Um,
Were
just
you
because.
was Did you find it scary at all or spooky?
Not really, no. No, it
Mm.
wasn't really that there's maybe one part that caused me to inhale sharply, like, "Oh, man, that's what's gonna happen now." But the housekeepers drop hints, and they dodge certain questions when the mom asks, but really the movie is the mom, she doesn't have it all together. Her husband's long dead or died in the war, and then some man shows up out of nowhere that says he's the husband, but it's really obvious that he isn't, or how could he be the husband, because isn't he dead? So there's a lot of strange goings on around and in this house, and she begins to distrust the help, and isn't sure, she just thinks she's losing her mind completely. So yeah, this was good. I probably won't rewatch it anytime soon, because we just have better movies that do this type of
Yeah.
thing. But it was fun to watch. I saw it, and there was probably 15 or 20 people in the theater, which shocked me. G
Well, I'm wondering if they were in the theater because you cannot see this movie anywhere. It's not streaming anywhere. You can't
ah.
even rent it. In the States, it says you can't rent it anywhere
Yeah, it looks
or
like you
buy
can
it.
only let me see what this
And in
says.
Canada, you have to pay $20 to rent it if you want to see it.
It looks
That's
like I'd have to
crazy.
buy the DVD for $25.
Yeah, so
That's the only
I
way. Oh,
think
that
I
makes
own it
sense.
on DVD actually, so
Oh,
I can
really?
send.
And see,
Yeah,
that's
I'll
the
send it to you.
and that's this goes right back to our earlier conversation and why you need physical media, because movies like
Yeah.
this, what's that Arnold Schwarzenegger Jamie Lee
True
Curtis movie.
Lies.
That one is unavailable anywhere. You cannot watch that movie anywhere. So,
And I found it actually in a. It came in a 3 pack.
oh really?
Yeah, it came in a 3 pack, so I bought it just for the novelty of owning True Lies because it came with like that and like Predator and something else. It was a Schwarzenegger. No, yeah. Anyways,
Yeah,
um,
so that's The Others, 2001. It's a good spooky movie. This is a movie, though, I will say this. This is a movie that you could watch with kids.
or your
It's,
parents who
yeah, your
don't really
parents, like, it's
love
very
horror
safe.
movies.
It's very
Yeah,
safe. I don't think there's, I can't remember. I don't think there's any nudity or anything like that in it.
yeah.
It's
Like mom,
very,
I think
very
you would
safe.
like this. I'm speaking right to my mother, but I think mom, you would probably like this movie. It's
My mom did like this. I asked her about it. She said it was one of her favorites, and my sister
yeah.
also liked this one too.
Oh, cool. All
So yeah,
right.
it's a 3-star movie. It's good. The Others.
Huh. Um, You know, your mom probably hates me because I just talk over you the whole time. She's probably like, "Oh God, this Mitch guy doesn't." I just want to hear my precious baby
No, no,
boy.
come on.
I know, I'm just
She
kidding.
really doesn't listen to this. I don't think she listens to every episode. And I mean, this is supposed to be a conversation, like we're in the same room, you know?
Mrs. Oh fuck, how do you say your last name? Diagis?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, Mrs. Diagis, if you're listening right now, e-transfer your son $100.
No, she does enough for me. I don't need any money from her.
I'm just kidding. I know. Don't our moms go bend over backwards? That's half the reason I want to win this $13,000 is just so I can pay my parents back all the shit they've done for me.
So tell us about Gonjiam Haunted Asylum.
Yes.
What
So
is this movie? I've never heard of it.
yeah. So I was kind of scrolling. Oh my god, I've got to be careful here. My partner was looking for a movie
You shouldn't
to.
have to be careful. Tell your mom that she cannot listen if it's going to
No, no,
stifle your
no, no.
discussion.
Not about that
Oh,
because
okay.
my horror group that I'm a part of, they're gonna know that my partner couldn't figure out a movie to watch for the our horror group last week, so he picked. I had found this on a TikTok, and I said, "Well, if you're looking for movies, here's a list of movies," and he picked this one. Gonjiam Haunted Asylum. Basically, this was from 2018. We've seen this like a lot of this kind of stuff. It's found footage.
Ah, I
The
see.
crew of a horror web series travels to an abandoned asylum for a live broadcast. And believe it or not, there might be something actually going on. Um, there is an actual hospital named Gunjayam. They weren't allowed to film there. The South Korean government wouldn't let them. Um, uh, this movie is very easily accessible. It's on Plex, Tubi, all that stuff.
Yeah, I saw it's on the
And
free version of Plex, right? Not
yeah,
mine.
and it's only an hour and a half, but it feels too long. I wish it was like 60 minutes, 70 minutes, because it's like there's an hour of build up.
Mm,
But I have to say, the last half an hour gets really scary. There's some really, really, really scary stuff.
cool.
I think like found footage sometimes has a way of scaring you more than anything else ever
Sure,
can
sure.
because it feels so real, and there's some really really creepy stuff. I really can't say anything more about the movie um
Yeah, I mean,
because
what you
it's
said so far is what's written as its
I know.
plot summary.
I know. I can't really say anything else. Like they go in and they're basically just like searching around this because it's a haunted asylum there. And there's a lot of water in the place and
Yeah,
damage, and
I can see
they
on the
you know they
poster.
they start fuck off.
No, no, I'm being serious.
Oh,
I'm serious.
okay. So like they find a doll, and like the doll happens to be in the picture of and it's funny because like they keep cutting back to this guy, and he's in this nice like tent, and he is not in the asylum, and he's in this tent, and he's like watching them do this and dealing with the internet and stuff, like and he's watching the viewers rise and stuff. i
Yeah,
think I think if you're in the right mood, and if you turn off all the lights, and like there was just a couple of you watching this movie, and if you were in the mood to get scared, I think this would be really affect you. I gave it 3.5 stars, just like I was 3 stars just the way it was, but then that last half an hour is There's some creepy ass shit, but like you got to be in the mood. You got to be in the right frame of mind, or else you're just gonna kind of okay, whatever.
Is it in Korean, I guess?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay. And did you recognize any of the actors? I don't recognize any of the
No,
names.
I didn't recognize any of the actors. No,
Okay.
I was kind of looking because the one girl looked familiar, but I didn't recognize her.
One of these guys
Oh,
looks familiar.
yeah. So the one guy
Park
is from
Sung-hoon.
Squid Game.
Okay, yeah, I knew it. I knew it.
Wee Ha Jun is from Squid Game. Um, so
Yep,
yeah.
he looked familiar. Okay, all right. So that's Gonjiam. Gonjiam.
I don't know. I just keep saying Gunjayam. Gunjayam.
Gonjiam
I'm sure
Haunted
that's
Asylum.
wrong. Haunted Asylum. It's funny they say it in the movie so many times, but I like they say it so quick.
Yeah, and our
You
tongues
never
just aren't
catch
used
it.
to saying those words. So
Yeah, yeah. And Stoker, which is funny, as I said earlier, because I saw Handmaiden this week and I really loved that. You can hear me review that over on the Film Vultures. Plug, plug.
yeah, what a
Eh,
funny coincidence was. Yeah, you saw that, you saw The Handmaiden, you text me to ask if I've seen it, and then all of a sudden, my local art house was showing Stoker from 2013. So it's 10
this is
years
like,
old.
yeah, 10-year anniversary, I guess.
I guess so, yeah. And I jumped on the chance to see this because, of course, this is by director Park Chan-wook, right? He's
Old boy.
well known. Old Boy, Handmaiden, Decision to Leave, which just came out recently, which was awesome.
Did you
Um,
see Thirst by
I
him?
didn't. No, that's
No?
another one
Okay.
I need to see. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's one of
same.
those
Same.
directors who I know so well, but I haven't seen, a tenth of his filmography. So,
Yeah.
but it's kind of cool that I've now seen Old Boy and Stoker in the same year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and Decision to Leave, yeah, that was great. So this stars another Nicole Kidman performance, Mia Wasikowska, which maybe that's how you say her name, but you guys, everyone knows her. Well, she's been in a ton of stuff, but she was in The Devil All the Time, which was kind of weird. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Kids Are All Right, which is one of my favorites.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Crimson
she's
Peak,
yeah.
Bergman Island. She was in Lawless with Tom Hardy.
Oh yeah, I love that movie.
She was in Damsel with
I
RPAT,
love that
Robert
movie.
Pattinson. Which
Yes.
wasn't that great. That one wasn't that great. But
Okay.
yeah, she's been in a ton of stuff. She's a strong actress. She has this look. She just has this. She's very actory look. Not like not like stunningly beautiful like Margot Robbie, but she's just looks good on screen. She's captivating.
Yes. Yeah.
So Stoker, it's so Mia Wasikowski plays a daughter named India. I don't know why her name is India, but her name is India.
Hmm.
She's definitely white, not Indian or anything near Indian. So right, her dad. The movie opens with her dad having just died. Her uncle Charlie shows up, who she never knew existed really.
Hmm.
Um, Comes to the house to live with her and her unstable mother, played by Nicole Kidman. She's a total drunk. Wakes up at 2 in the afternoon every day. She's totally absent. The Mia Wasikowski, India was very close with her dad.
Hmm.
They went on hunting trips. They did everything together. You can tell the relationship between the mom and her is very frayed as the movie goes on, because the mom just has no interest in what she's doing, and
I
just
thought the dad was played by, or the uncle was played by Colin Farrell, but I was wrong.
no, he's Matthew Good, which
Yeah.
you also know him from Watchmen, The Imitation Game. He was in The Kingsman, Match Point. He's been in tons and tons of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Allied, Official Secrets, which was really good. He was good in that, um, and so on and so on. He's a very handsome, uh, square jaw looking, man, and
Yeah.
he's dressed. Everyone in this is dressed very well. The costumes in here are awesome.
Yes.
Um, but so the uncle comes to live with them after the dad dies. Um, Mia Wasikowski starts to suspect that this uncle, who is charming, has some ulterior motives. He starts to hit on the mom, and the dad's not even cold yet, and he's already hitting on the mom, trying to sleep with Nicole Kidman, it seems. And then he's very creepy and weird toward her too, Mia. Um, and she's just turned 18, and
Yeah.
he's her actual uncle, so this is kind of incestuous. It's kind of gross, but um overall, this movie script, I found out, was on the blacklist. If our
Hmm.
listeners haven't heard of that, you can look it up on Wikipedia. It's called the Hollywood Blacklist. It's the list of best scripts that have yet to been made yet. So they get passed around from studio to studio, and everyone agrees, oh man, this script is so good, this would make a great movie, but nobody can figure out an angle to attack it or whatever. So this is Park Chan-wook's first English language film. And I think some of the problems, well, I'll say, I think some of the problems with it are because of that. Just because maybe he doesn't have a mastery of the English language. Maybe I'm assuming something there, but it seems like maybe that was why this isn't perfect. This was good. I like this movie, but it's not perfect or it's not a masterpiece. You also have Alden Ehrenreich in this, which is funny because,
Really? Oh,
yeah, he plays a small part, a tertiary character, and we just saw him in Oppenheimer, right? And Cocaine Bear, and Fair Play, which we reviewed last week or the week before. So he was funny to see. He's kind of a scumbag in this movie. But the best part about this movie by far is cinematography, editing, the shots, the movement of the camera. It is fantastic. And some would even call it overindulgent.
mm,
The way the camera moves around people as they're talking is just so cool, and it's done with intention. And the way things are staged, all these little tiny things are things you don't notice, but your brain kind of does. So, like, the uncle is talking to her atop a staircase, and that's done purposely so that he's so showing us visually that he has dominion over her. He is overbearing, right? They're not on the floor together, they're separated by some height. And so that's a small thing
yes,
that a
yes.
clever director does to, visually tell us a story. So we find out that, yeah, there's some backstory to this uncle that is not good. We find out that there's some questions around her father's death. Maybe, his car crash seems unlikely for where he was. He wouldn't have driven that far out on his daughter's 18th birthday. So something
Yeah.
fishy's going there. And some people start going missing. Housekeepers, other relatives, just some people start going missing. Um, and India seems to have dreams or fantasies of some kind of violence. She's not bothered by killing animals. She goes on hunting trips with her dad. That's established early on. Um, and it seems like the uncle's influence is a bad one to her because these, you know, bloody, bloodthirsty things seems to start happening more often,
Right.
as his presence has kind of stayed around. So I didn't see where it was going. I really liked the ending. Um, but overall, overall, I just love this movie because of the things I mentioned just a second ago. The directing, the shot composition, all the technical stuff. And I know it's kind of weird to recommend for people who aren't film nerds like us, because I didn't really start noticing that stuff until somewhat recently, now that I've seen hundreds and hundreds of movies, right? Because you just normal people don't care about that shit. Usually
No,
you just don't, right?
but
So
it sounds a lot like you're like some of the stuff you're interest like that really caught your eye. It sounds very similar to Handmaiden, where I was like the house and the shots and the I was like the like everything, the way it was shot and like you go from a house to an open field and you're just mesmerized. But
there was this great transition. I'll just give one example. Great transition where someone's combing someone's hair, and it's beautiful hair, Nicole Kidman's hair. Somebody's really strikingly colored red hair. And as she combs the brush down, the bottom of the hair starts to wave just a little bit and it turns into field grass.
oh
And then the
wow.
next scene is Mia Wasikowska out in the field. So it's just these really cool transition shots, and there's lots like that. Um, so yeah, so overall, I give this movie 3 stars.
Yeah.
It's good. I liked it a lot. I went back and watched some old reviews, and it wasn't as highly reviewed as I thought it would be. But I think it's gained some respect as the years have gone on. Because I'm looking down Letterboxd and I can see um, critic David Ehrlich, who's a very famous movie critic, he gave it 4.5 stars, and a bunch of these other YouTube people that I follow gave it 4, 3, 4. Looks like you gave it 3.5. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's really good. It's really good. Um, it's great. Nicole Kidman's a little subdued in this. She kind of is just monotone, but her
This is about when she started to really do some different things. Like she kind of like hit her 40s, like late 40s, and she was just like, I'm just gonna do whatever
yeah,
I
yeah.
want. And yeah, I love her.
Me
You
too.
sent
I really do.
you sent me down a rabbit hole. I'm like, he's you were talking about the uncle, and then I was like, isn't incest legal in some states? But so now I was the whole time I was listening, I promise, but I was also
I don't think it is, but back to Nicole Kidman, um, did you see Destroyer?
You know what? I didn't, and I for the longest time I kept trying to.
She's awesome in it, and she's
Yeah.
totally cracked out, no makeup, gross hair.
Yes.
Like it's one of those kind of performances.
Oh, I did see it.
Yeah, looks like you did. Oh wait, no, you didn't log it. Never mind.
I,
Anyway, yeah, Nicole Kidman 2018 Destroyer is she's so good in it and
yeah.
seems like a hard part. But yeah, so that's Stoker, Park Chan-wook. I think he's extremely talented, and I am going to try and make a point to see the rest of his filmography because he's obviously talented.
Yeah.
So that yeah, that's Stoker. So that wraps up what we have seen. So let's talk about
Yeah.
what's coming to streaming in theaters next, Mitch.
Yeah, so coming to streaming this Friday, Cobweb, the new horror movie that you and I both saw. I did not really like it. You were okay on it. It will be on Hulu, free to stream, so you guys can watch that, and make your
Oh,
own.
Cobweb. Yeah, yeah. I actually
Yeah.
remember not liking that one much. 1.5
Okay.
stars, I think.
Old Dads is a new comedy coming out, starring and directed by Bill Burr.
Yeah, I'm looking
Um,
forward to this one.
yeah, it actually maybe some boomer humor a little bit, but there
But I
was a
like Bill Burr.
yeah, me too. So I think it'll be could be funny. A new movie called Surrounded. It is Michael K. Williams' last role. It'll be on Prime Video on Friday as well. It tells the story of Mo Washington, played by Letitia Wright, who
Okay.
is heading out west in an attempt to lay claim to a gold mine. However, the journey is soon disrupted when her stagecoach is ambushed and she ends up having to hold a dangerous outlaw captive before help can come back. So I've heard good things, and apparently Michael K. Williams gives a pretty good, not a huge role, but a good performance.
Okay.
This week on Shutter is a new movie called Night of the Hunted, which tells the story of Alice, played by Camille Rowe, who stops in at a gas station late one night and finds herself pinned down by a sniper. So that could be interesting. Saw X will be on VOD on Friday, which feels way too early for that. Like it's only at $72 million worldwide budget. Doesn't feel like it's made enough money. I feel like it can make a
I know.
lot
I'm
more.
surprised. I'm surprised. Wait,
Yeah,
$72 million was the budget, or
worldwide.
it's made what?
Sorry, that's what it's made. Sorry,
Oh,
not
okay.
budget. It's only made 72 million. And I mean, like, I understand they think that. I mean, it's only gonna be on VOD, so I mean, you're still probably gonna have to pay $20 to watch it at home. So I guess that's what they're thinking. Um, but I think this is gonna be a good Netflix movie. No Hard Feelings, the one with Jennifer Lawrence. I think
Oh, it's
Netflix
finally
is.
coming to Netflix. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
been
I
on
haven't seen
VOD for
it.
a while. Oh, you should watch
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I will. I think it's probably Netflix is probably a good spot for it.
I think I
Eh?
have it on Plex.
Yeah, I will. I will watch it. I just haven't got around
Yeah,
to it.
it's a Sony movie. So Sony, since they don't have their own streaming service, they go
Right.
theaters, video on demand, and then straight to Netflix.
Yes. So obviously coming to theaters this weekend, we've got the juicy Killers of the Flower Moon. That is
I
Martin
have my
Scorsese. You
ticket for
do?
this on Thursday in Dolby, and it is 3 hours, 45
Yes.
minutes
What? It is 3 hours and 45 minutes?
before trailer, so it's going to be 4 hours.
Okay. So it will also be on IMAX as well. It is taking some IMAX screens this weekend. Um, you put in here Dick's the Musical, so it must be going wider.
Yeah, so I
I
have a
did
ticket
see
to see
that.
this tomorrow.
Oh, I'll be really interested to hear what you say. The
Yeah,
trailer looks
it looks like a
nutso.
Bros or Bottoms. It's a very
Maybe.
gay, heavy comedy.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
a gay musical comedy. I've heard it's extremely vulgar, like
Yeah.
crazy vulgar. So
Hmm.
we'll see, we'll see.
And then
Although
what's this other
let
one?
me pause you.
Sorry.
Yeah, but I'll mention that one. But I was just looking up on my thing, and
Your
I'm
thing?
now on my phone on Fandango. I'm now torn. I have a ticket to see Dick's the musical at 7, but I just noticed my theater is playing this documentary called Fentanyl Unlimited tomorrow night as
Hmm.
well, and Under the Skin is showing tomorrow night at the AMC by me. And I didn't see that in the theater. I only watched that at home, and I
Love,
loved that movie.
I love Under the Skin.
Yeah, any of y'all listening, Scarlett Johansson, Under the Skin, it's fantastic sci-fi. It's so eerie and weird and creepy and a clever idea and brutal. It's just a
Yeah.
fucking awesome movie, Under the Skin.
Is there a way to see two at least? Like, is there a way to see
So
two of
yeah,
these?
good question, right? So Under the Skin has um 7 o'clock and 9:50 showings, and I think
Mm,
Dick's the Musical is at 7. So maybe I
mm,
go 7 to Dick's the Musical and then right into Under the Skin. Actually, that's probably what I'm gonna do, and I'll skip this
yeah.
Fentanyl Unlimited one.
Yeah, I looked it up
Yeah, what
on
is it?
Google, and there's not a lot about it. Like, it's very, very, very small.
Yeah, it looks like it's
Uh,
a documentary. 150 Americans drop dead every year from this illicit opioid. And, full disclosure, that is the opioid I was doing the last time I had a issue with it.
I'm so
It,
sorry. It's
no, it's just
no, but
was.
it's
It's very
addiction is
dangerous
a
though.
disease.
It's very dangerous
Yeah, that's what.
because it's so potent. So
Yeah,
and you're buying drugs from the street, you don't know really what's in it. It comes in these pills, but these pills are made by the cartel. So who knows? So I'm always curious about these documentaries, but
I would say
yeah,
skip it. I'm
I'm
kind
gonna
of
skip.
looking
Yeah.
at it. I mean, and then if you hear good things, maybe down the road. But yeah. Also coming to theaters, I think these are mostly limited. Is Nyad, Nyad? Um, it's an American biographical sports drama directed by Elizabeth Chai Vasahirli and Jimmy Chin. It stars Annette Bening as a swimmer, Diana
Mm,
Nyad, and Jodie Foster and is in this as well.
damn.
So
Okay.
it'll be out this weekend, select theaters, and then it'll be on Netflix November 3rd. I don't know. The poster kind of really caught my eye.
I think I saw a
So
trailer for this because of
did
Jodie
you?
Foster. Yeah. Let me
Hmm.
see.
Well, Butcher's
Yeah. Okay.
Cross.
I
Oh,
did see a
sorry.
trailer for this. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh,
So this is a. I think it's based on a true story
yep. I
of.
said that.
Oh, you did. Okay. So it's based on a true story. It's Annette Bening wanting to swim. Actually, I remember this story. She wants to swim from the Florida Keys to Cuba, which is like 90 miles. And in the trailer,
Oh,
from what I remember, is she fails like 5 or 6 times, but then of course she
okay.
eventually makes it. She's
Oh, okay.
lesbian and is married to Jodie Foster in the movie.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I was
so
gonna
I
say I
might
thought
try and
this
see
is the one
this.
where she died. I thought this is the one where she died trying to cross.
Maybe, but I think I remember like the news story that someone actually did it and it was a woman, so this might be it. But
Okay.
I might be conflating something.
Hmm. Butcher's Crossing is a 2022 American Western drama based on the 1960 novel of the same name. Nicolas Cage stars. So it was over a year ago. It premiered at the Toronto Film Festival, and it is just getting a release now, which is probably not a great sign. But we've had a lot of Nicolas Cage content this year. This is a second Nicolas Cage Western we've had an
Yeah.
Ivy League dropout travels to the Colorado wilderness where he joins a team of buffalo hunters on a journey that puts his life and sanity at risk. Um, and then the other movies are The Other Zoe and The Persian Version are other movies coming up this weekend. So
All right.
yeah, that's it.
Cool.
That was a 2 hour episode.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
know. And it got me thinking. I wonder what I would love to be able to poll all the listeners. Like, would should if
when they
with
drop out.
yeah, or when we have these long episodes, should we like post just the reviews and then say, if you want to listen to us talk box office news, box office, and upcoming, listen to the next episode. I don't know. We'll throw that out there. We'll think about it.
Yeah, let us if anyone's listening and they let us know what you think. If you've made it to the end of the episode and
Yeah,
but
because
see
because
that's the
do
other
people listen to 2 hour episodes? I don't know.
so the Film Vault this week are going to full length episodes and they are done splitting up their episodes.
No way. That's
Yeah,
funny.
and it's funny because last week they announced that they said it is
Oh yeah, I
better.
remember. Yeah.
Yeah, they said
What'd
it's
they say?
better for like commercially and more clicks and hits and stuff like to just put out one episode instead of two a week. Like you get more traction and attention with just one episode instead of splitting it up. So
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
maybe we'll just follow their lead for now. And if anybody is like, hey, I'd rather it in 2 episodes, but then if people are going to listen to the whole episode, they're going to listen to the whole episode.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yep.
and then if they're not going to listen to the whole episode, they'll skip around.
Yeah, I guess if
But
you put timestamps, I think, right?
yeah, and then but then if people aren't going to like people are going to listen to the whole episode, they don't want to wait, right? For the Friday episode. Like
Yeah, yeah. I don't like how they do that. I wish they would just drop them both at the
yeah.
same time.
So I think we'll keep doing it this way. We usually I mean we vary from an hour to 2 hours, so
Yeah, right. It does. It does vary, and
yeah.
I don't mind it at all. I just after as when I saw the 2 hour mark, I was just
I
like,
know.
I wonder if people listen that much. Although I'll say this
We
for
need a
my favorite
break.
movie podcast, I'll listen to them read the phone book. I just love hearing their opinions, because I've
Yeah.
grown to get to know them over the years, so I like what they have
Yeah.
to say about anything. So
I agree. I
yeah,
agree. I
maybe that's how people feel. So do you
do
want
you,
to
do you find
drop
yourself
the
like
plugs?
ever like getting annoyed with them sometimes though? Like you're like, "Oh my god." Because like you feel
No.
like you know them so much where like you kind of like get annoyed with like their little tendencies or
Yeah, okay, so not really, but I'll say this, my alliance will shift. So like
right.
the We Hate Movies guys, that's a group of 4 dudes. When I
Yeah.
first started listening to them, I liked one guy, but then as time goes on, I found like, oh no, I like Eric way better. I relate to him so much more. So I will
Mm,
jump around on who I enjoy
mm,
more. So yeah, kind of.
yeah. I yeah, no, that's interesting. I've been kind of the same way, but sometimes like it's like I'll still listen, but I'm like god, I need a break. But
So, and I'll say this, Mitch, for the We Hate Movies guys, they just did the episode The Exorcist 3, the third Exorcist movie.
yeah.
And then on their Patreon, they did a We Love Movies of the original Exorcist. If you want to listen
Okay.
to that, let me know and I'll send you my Patreon login so you can check that
Okay.
out.
I started to listen to the Exorcist one, but I haven't
Oh,
seen
okay.
that movie yet.
I
Like
haven't either.
the Exorcist 3. So,
You know what I'll
um
do? If I haven't seen the movie, like they just put out Pumpkinhead, which is I've never heard of.
I love that one.
Oh, you should listen to it then. It's
I
really funny.
will. I
I go
will.
watch the trailer for the movie, and then I'm like, okay, I get enough of what this movie
Okay,
is.
that's a
Then I'll
good
go listen to
idea.
the episode. Yeah.
No, Pumpkinhead was the first movie where I realized I'm a dad because I was like because it starts with the with Lance Henriksen's son dying
Yes. Yes.
and like it really got me because the kid looked a little bit like Max and I was
Damn.
like wow this shitty little horror movie but it's a good movie and the creature effects are great. I've even seen the sequel.
There's a
um
sequel. Oh my god.
there is. I think that's a movie dying to be remade if they got like the good practical
So they
effects.
mentioned that so one of them in the episode says something like, I think they're remaking this. I think Paramount is remaking this. So you
Oh,
might
that'd be
get your
cool.
wish. Yeah.
That would be cool. I mean, Paramount seems to be like, didn't they do Children of the Corn and it was shit?
Mm-hmm.
And then Pet
Mm-hmm.
Sematary Bloodlines. It's
Yep.
like, come on, if you're gonna like, oh, and then Netflix did Texas Chainsaw. Like,
Oh man, that
these
was bad.
streamers are just buying these properties and fucking them over. Okay, go vote for me. Face of Horror, please. It is down in the show notes. Just throw me a vote. Florence, I just saw you voted for me. Thank you so much. You spent a little bit of money. That is so sweet. My queen and my horror queen. Um, Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads. Um, and then, if you go to any of those sites, you'll see my link tree there with all my links to the Hollywood Persona, my site, the Film Vultures, everything. And then Ant is on Instagram and Ant's Movies on Letterboxd.
Yep.
And it's all below. Thank you everyone for listening. Ant, anything else?
No, man, that sounds good. So next week we'll have reviews definitely for Dick's the Musical and of course Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yes, and there's some of these coming out. Like I'll try to see. There's so much on streaming I needed to see, so I'll definitely see Killers of the Flower Moon. But
Yeah, if you
yeah,
can carve out 4 hours.
I'll try it. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
3, 2, 1, stop.
Got it.
Woo. All right.
What you gonna do for the rest of the night?
Probably go chill and watch something. I'm hungry now. I don't know. You going to bed?
I was thinking I might cook something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to break my late night uh
Eating.
thing. Yeah, because it just feels like I kill the day if I sleep all day. You know how that
Oh
is.
yeah, I know. I know. It's
This
funny,
is
like, sorry?
36. This is episode 36, right?
That is right. Yeah.
Okay. What were you gonna say about staying up all night?
No, it's funny, like John, like he used to sleep in, but now he'll get up and go do things like before work, and I'm like, oh my god, I'd rather just sleep. But I need to get better at doing that. THP 36.
Yep, I'm deleting 35 and uploading 36.
All right.
All right,
Oh, I
man.
guess I
Cool.
can stop.
Stop this
Oh,
recording
I
here.
gotta end it anyways. So, or
Okay.
I can just do it here. But yeah, I'll just yeah. All right, bud. I'll talk
All
to you
right, man.
later.
Have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
See
Bye.
ya.